It is 5 o'clock somewhere. The boys from the studio just gave me one of these things, a little truly. I don't know about all these things, but, I'm off a sip of it while we're diving into the latest Michigan football news, rumors, and recruiting rankings. I am your host, James Yoder. You're watching the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports here 1 week before the official National Signing Day, which is next Wednesday, February 1st. So we're going to let the audience build up here for a moment or two. So if you're just getting with us, you haven't missed anything yet, get comfortable. Pull up a chair. Kick your feet up, toss us on the big screen if you're watching from home, if you're already there. If you're in the car, put the phone down. Don't be sitting there driving and watching. We know we've got some good information from time to time. You don't want to be putting your phone in front of you, getting distracted while you are driving. But let's get some shout-outs. If you want a shout-out here on the Michigan Football Report, type me, and I will give some shout-outs here on the show. All right, let's see who we've got that we need to shout out. We've got a me coming in from Kaz. If you go Blues, I'll give those shout-outs. Rob Bitts, William H., a longtime viewer of the show, Winford M., Jeremy Clore. Jeremy is a hard hat member as well, multiple hard hat members. I'll give those shout-outs here in a little bit. Kaz, Tim Baker says, go Blue Bosa, Scotty Half again. All right, let's get the me's. The me's were from Kaz, Scotty Half, Tim Baker, Mitch Kappas. Shout out to you, Mitch. Tim Torrey says Harbaugh signed with Coach Prime, huge NIL deal. I don't know. What do you know? What do you know, David Torrey? Another me coming from Kaz. Mike K, my guy. Rodney Faust, Trosper. Another Mike K. Mike Layton, who is Mike Layton is a Hard Hat Club member. Everybody who's on the Hard Hat is going to be part of our show's end screen. We're going to do like credits. So you're going to be the executive producer of the show coming up here after February 1st, after signing day. We'll have end screen credits for all the Hard Hat crew one time per week from signing day all the way through the end of fall camp in August. Got a super chat. There he goes. Jeremy Clore. He is going to be on make sure we update if Jeremy's on the big board too, Jack. I'm not sure if he is now, but Jeremy Clore, thank you so much. You are getting another sticker on the Hard Hat. You will be on the list, and my man, you're getting up there for potentially in the running for some giveaways. We're gonna fill a couple of these helmets up. We got 4 of them so far. Just finishing this one. Fill one up with dollar bills and a Blake Corum football. We're gonna give away all of them though. So Jeremy, really appreciate it. I'm going to get you on there, Jeremy Clore. What's the date say, Jack? 125. 125th, Jeremy. So you got multiple hard hat helmets. So you'll be part of our screen, and we'll kind of have a little notch there how many times you were on the hard hat. So really appreciate you, Jeremy. Anybody wants to super chat $10, Jack, after we go through this, make sure you tell them how they can. But let's tell you guys what you can expect from today's Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports. Let's dive into it. We're going to dive into the latest news and rumors. We've got little Nyckoles Harbor. Somebody's got some info there that we might have to get into. Nyckoles Harbor in Colorado. I'm not sure. We're going to talk about Jim Harbaugh, his contract situation. I'm going to take a little look back at Matt Weiss, what's going on there too. Then we're going to dive into the recruiting class. Kind of just walk you through guys who are on the cusp right now, maybe flipping to Michigan. More on Nyckoles Harbor in that segment as well. Let's walk you through where Michigan ranks in the recruiting rankings a week out from signing day. We'll do an MFer Q&A. Michigan Football Report Q&A. If you're watching, it makes you an MFer by default. And then I'm going to dive into my 2023 defensive depth chart. The depth chart's pretty easy this year in a lot of ways because Michigan has so much returning, but they've also got a lot of guys coming in, some very talented freshmen on the defensive side of the ball, and then, of course, a very talented defensive end from Coastal Carolina and Josiah Stewart, a very talented, very productive linebacker, freshman linebacker is going to be a sophomore coming in from Nebraska. So kind of dive into that, let you guys know what I think on Michigan's 2023 defensive depth chart. Looking at the comments here, keep it rolling. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't yet. But Jeremy Clore's already on it. One man is on today, but I want you guys to know about the Hard Hat Club. Send in a $10 super chat. You will have a sticker to be added from the Michigan Hard Hat. Want to give some shout outs as we are going to wait about 5 more minutes until we dive into the meat of the show. So if you're just joining us right now, you haven't missed anything. We're going to wait till the 10 after the hour to start diving into the top content around the day. So toss this up. So if you want to get in the hard hat, you'll be part of this crew here. I'll give these people shout outs. John Blaze, $770 since we started doing super chats in mid to late November, right, Jack? So it's been about 2 months, maybe a little over 2 months, 9 weeks or so. John Blaze, $770. My guy Wolverine, Alaska, has come through with a piping hot $340. Blue Wolverine, I haven't seen Blue Wolverine in a couple shows. He's $180. Cool Moti, $137. Shane Johnson, Miami Shane, the Don Shane at $74. Cody Mumfrey, $71. Rick Harford, $65. Dan Farrer, $50. John Crandall, $50. And Josiah Kiter is at $30. Where's Clore at? He's got to be up towards 30, right? Jack, Jeremy, Jack, Young Harbaugh behind the scenes. We'll get it updated either today or before next week's show, of course. But take a look, Jack, if you get any opportunity. But no big deal. I know it's tough to pull that data while we're in a live show. So join the Hard Hat Club. We're going to send these. Every user or viewer of the show will have all 4 of these before, the end of February, and I'll put some prizes in there, give away a jersey, signed football, thing of dollar bills so you can make it rain. And we're going to do a end screen, end screen, just like credits, if you will, coming up here all off season. So one time a week we'll have credits of like the executive producers of the show. So everybody who gets a $10 hard hat, you'll be on the end screen of the show. That's a $10 super chat. Watching live here on the Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports. All right, Jack, what do we got here going on? Let me ask these questions as we are waiting for the audience to continue to build up. I ask you guys this question: how excited are you for the future of Michigan football? We've asked this question a couple times recently, so this is nothing new for a lot of you guys, but I'm kind of torn in a little way. I'm a 9.5, 10 for 2023, but after that, 2024, it's looking like a down year. Don't know what Jim Harbaugh, maybe he's going to get out while the going's good. Super chat coming in from Mike Layton. We'll pull that up here in 1 second. So let me know what you guys are thinking. I'll give some shout outs on what you guys are thinking in the future of Michigan football. Seeing lots of 8s, lots of 9s. Casey Mock says 6. He says, Sam Sykes like this one. We're not getting Jayden Davis if we keep running all game. Well, keep running all game is kind of what got Michigan back into the winning category, so I'll be willing to sacrifice at least one recruit if that was the case. Mike Layton, super chat of $10. My guy, we're going to get you a sticker here, so really appreciate that. So let me get you up on here, Mike. Whoa. Breaking news from Jack, producer Jack. He's got the hookup behind the scenes as we get Mike Layton, $25 or $10 super chat, and has added another sticker. Mike, you are part of the most elite crew in all of Michigan football media. What do we got here, Jack? Breaking news. Jeremy Clore is up on the leaderboard. He's at $35. He has made the top 10. The top 10 on this list will get big-time billing on our end screen. So appreciate you, Jeremy Clore. That $10 has got you up with the big dog, so appreciate that. Mike Layton's got to be pretty close, too, at some point. Maybe we could look him up, too, Jack, if it wasn't that tough. So Mike Layton, thank you so much. Just got you a hard hat helmet. Anybody else, $10 super chats. Hard hat, get you into the drawing. We're going to kind of auction a couple of these off to the people on the list, and then I will put you on the show's end screen credits. So 1 through 10, I'll kind of give some shout-outs. Casey Mock, a little pessimist, says 6. Becky and Chad, shout out to Becky and Chad from Toledo, Ohio, giving a go blue. What's that, Mike's at Mike Layton, you're at 30, so $5 away, $5.01 away, Mike. You kind of bumped Jeremy from the list. I don't know, Jack. Maybe we should get a little super chat battle going between those guys. So appreciate that. 9.5 from Ken Tilt. Excited about the Michigan football program. Tim Baker, 10 plus. Trosper says 1 million. So he's loving the future of Michigan football. 10-ish from Derek Mohammed. And we got 9.5 from Ken Tilt, 100 from Rob Smith. He says with 10-12 playoffs will be in every year. Current Michigan will be in every year, but 2017 Michigan would not have been. 2015 would have been right on the cusp. Probably not, though. And then certainly not 2020, 2019, right on the cusp, right? 3-loss team going into the bowl game there. So not every year, but I would expect going forward, knowing that 12 teams, you kind of just know exactly what you have to do. It doesn't seem like such a far stretch. You have to beat every team. You have to beat Ohio State. You got to win. All those things have to go right to make it now. And there, $20 super chat coming in, Jack. They're just coming in hot from G. Gallender, 1999. He is getting 2 stickers on the Michigan Football Report. G. Gallender, is he a first-time super chatter? have not seen you in here. He just gives the 20. G Gallender, you're going to be on the helmet twice. If you want to ask a question, also put that in the comments. Jack will see that. We can put it up on the show here in just a moment. So I'm going to get you those. I'm going to get you these while we're waiting for the audience to build up. Callender is 125. My guy, G Gallender. All right, I'm going to put a big G in this one because I left some room. 125. We have to get another. We're doing our live show next Wednesday. So G Gallender, I'm going to bring you those bad boys. I'm going to put you on the helmet right now. I'm going to put one. Oops, I dropped your other sticker. One of them's going to go, where's the front of the helmet? The front is this side. So I'm going to put you, G Gallender, right up there in the front. And then I'm going to put one more on the top of the helmet up with some of the big dogs like John Blaze, Wolverine, and Wolverine Alaska, and some others. So 2 stickers for G Gallender. Really appreciate that. And we are off to a hot start as we're about to dive into the latest Michigan football news and rumors around this program. What do we got here, Jack? Do we have any more questions we want to ask the people as we are kind of diving in there? Yeah, if you guys want to be on the screen, we're going to take about 15-plus minutes of questions here in a little bit. And towards the end of the show, if the audience is still there and you guys want to ask questions, I'll stay and take questions. So using hashtag Michigan in your questions. So like, hey, James, question, hashtag Michigan at the end. That pops it right to the special cue that producer Jack, a.k.a. Young Harbaugh, has. All it is one click button. He puts you on screen. If you don't use hashtag Michigan, it causes a lot of challenges for us to get you on screen easily with one producer. Or you can super chat like you've seen Jeremy Clore, like you've seen G Gallender, and like you've seen Mike Layton already do this show. All right, guys, before we dive in, we're coming up on 12 after the hour, so we're 2 minutes behind the schedule already. I was born late. I'll be late to my own funeral probably. All together now. Type Go Blue in the comments. I'll give a shout out to Chad Ode, $500 super chat. Oh my gosh, fake super chatter. But hey, Chad, I appreciate it. Chad. It's a good move. Thought that counts. Really appreciate it. All right, text the I'll give a shout out to the first 10 Go Blues in the comments. The Taxman says Go Blue. Whoa, Taxman. I don't know, Taxman. Tim Baker says Go Blue. He says, James, did you write his name as G Gallender or Calendar? I actually don't know. What did I do, Jack? I said I wrote it as Calendar, yeah, with a C. That's what it is, right? C, Calendar, yeah. Cal with a C. That's what it showed up on the thing. Oops, there we go. G Calendar with 2 L's. All right, let me give these Go Blues. $5 super chat from Bizzer. Another first-time super chat. I haven't seen Bizzer as a super chatter. Thank you so much, Bizzer. I'll get to that question in a second. Give these shout-outs. Tim Baker, Go Blue. Brad, La Rochelle, Mitch Kappas, longtime viewer. Ty Stallard, Petty Grimes, Chris Farron. He said, Case and Scott, he says, James, got a question for you. In your opinion, what's the best option for QB coach? Make sure we get that one for the Kaysen uses hashtag Michigan, so we will get that one in our Q&A, which is the third segment of this show. Sean Schmidt says, Go Blue. Got Josh Sherwood, my guy, also a Hard Hat member. He is in there with a hashtag Michigan. Ken Tilt, Eric Stone, Kaysen Scott, MJ, Scotty Haft, Patty Grimes asked a question about Brian Greasy. Talked about the show yesterday. Greasy has politely declined at Jim Harbaugh's inquiries, and William Clerico as well with a Bosa. Calendar, G Calendar, the new two-time member of the Hard Hat Club. Thank you so much for the super chat, and a Bosa from William Clerico. Love the Bosa, the shots. All right, let's get this question. $5 super chat from Bizzer. What did he say? Off perks and sipping lean. So assuming that's you, I think you can do both if you're just trying to have some fun. I mean, on Saturday night, you're on perks. What's that? Look, if you're on perks because you got surgery and then your friend offers you some lean, you're like, whatever. Why do you think they've been rapping about it? Guys are selling best-selling platinum albums talking about perks and lean. So if he's off perks and sipping lean, that means he's not cross-faded. The kids are watching this, but they're going to know any better. They're not learning anything from me that they're not getting from their local rap artist. Hey, I've never actually done official lean with like Sprite and a styrofoam cup, but the actual core of it, everyone's kind of tried it here or there. So appreciate the $5 super chat, Bizzer. Hope you are feeling good. Off the perks, on the lean. If you want to crossfaded, you can do so. Jack says, don't say that, James. Don't tell the kids how to do fun stuff. Jack, I'm not trying to be a party pooper, but this shirt is going to make you the life of the party. I'm pulling it out beneath the helmets. The Don shirt, guys. Not as big as of a draw last week. Maybe it's because, it's after the season. People aren't just that excited. But first 100 went by hotcakes. We released another 50. And only like 10 or 12 sold last week. So the Don shirt. It's very nice. It's all cotton. It's not one of these cheap Gildan shirts. $29.07. The number's there for $29.07. Could have made it more expensive. People want to make it more expensive. It's two Big Ten titles, J.J. McCarthy, and then 07 for the Don. That's how we came up with $29.07. $25 super chat coming in from Chad Ode. Is it Ode or O'Day? I don't know. I'm going to say Ode because I feel like it's Ode. Chad Ode, thank you so much. He says, good sport with the fake super chat. Well, that was a pretty funny one. So he went from 500 fake super chat to a $25 real super chat. So thank you so much, Chad Ode. You were getting 2.5 stickers. I'm going to give you these right now, and then we will get started with the show, talking about the latest on Jim Harbaugh, looking back at some Matt Weiss stuff, talking some Nyckoles Harbor. You guys are going to want to kind of keep an eye out for that. Show enhances the fan experience a ton. Chad, really appreciate it. Anybody who's enjoying the show, Jack, maybe we can toss that question about the recommend the show part right now. We'll ask it later on, but I think it would be helpful. We're hitting a point, 26,000 subscribers, where growing from here will continues to be a challenge because, not everybody uses YouTube. Not everybody consumes different types of media. So if you guys toss in the comments, how likely would you be to recommend this show to a friend who's a Michigan football fan, I would assume. And if you're up there in the 8s, 9s, and 10s, go ahead and recommend it to them if you could for us. It would really help. The best recommendation is a friend's word, and that would help us out. If you're below an 8, though, also say, hey, James, I'm a 6. I might be a 10 if, right? Let us know the ifs. If you're below a 6 or something like that, you basically think we're complete schmucks, and I can appreciate that. We'll still keep rocking, and you guys can watch for free if you think Jack and I are a schmuck. But it might hurt my feelings a little bit. Yeah, you could. But no, I mean, you gotta have people who don't love what you're doing, Jack, or just kind of, I'll watch this guy here and there. It's not that big of a deal. All right, Chad, I'm gonna create a half one. I think the $25 is a pretty good one. We're gonna create a half sticker. I just gotta cut it later. I don't want to make a mess of myself. Chad, I got one for you on the front with the big dogs of the helmet, of the 4th helmet, and then Chad Ode as well. I'm putting you right on top next to Calendar up at the top with John Blaze and some other of the crew. So how likely to watch the show? What do we got, Jack? Oh, God. No, we got some 10s from Mitch, 10s from Josh. Appreciate you, Josh. Trosper has recommended the show to my grandma. Hey, shout out to Grams. I'd recommend Lean to my granny. I kind of, my grandma died about 4 months ago. Jack, if you get 2 or 3 drinks with me sometime, you want to hear a funny story, ask me about my grandma down the stretch of her life and some alternative medicines that she may have partaken in. $50 super chat from Decap. My guy is getting 5 stickers. 5 stickers from Decap. Didn't even ask a question. We're just going to put them on screen, though. 5 stickers from Decap. He is the man, and that means Decap is in our top 10. My guy, Jack, is going to get those on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody watching, we are going to talk Jim Harbaugh. We're going to talk Nyckoles Harbor in just a moment, but I got to give shout-outs to people who contribute to the show. It helped Jack and I pay for our travel out to the national title game. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out for Michigan. Helps studio time and everything that we do here at the Michigan Football Report. Putting out near daily shows. We've taken a break, a day or two since the season ended, but we're going to keep rolling all off season long. Decap, it's only 4 letters, so this actually one's pretty easy. I can write these out pretty quickly, Jack, but we got to get Decap on the big board. Nice. Decap is on the big board. If you got a question, keep an eye out for him in the chat, Jack. If he has another question, wants to comment, you can. We'll feature you all show long. Decap, you have got 5 stickers. And now go back to that leaderboard. I didn't see it really quick. I want to make sure see where Decap's at on the big board. We got 4 first-time super chatters here today, Jack. What is popping? What's that? Oh, Jeremy Clore, I guess you got bumped, my man. All right, well, I apologize, but Decap got up in there, and no cap, Decap is no cap. So let me get these stickers, Decap, on there for you. You are now tied with 3 other people, 3-way tie with Dan Farrer and John Crandall at 50 bones, contributed to the show, contributed to our electricity bill, our cable bill, and Jack's, Jack's... When Jack goes out, he goes to gentlemen's clubs and places like this. He makes it rain. Let me just tell you that. And so, that's kind of how we have to roll with there. So, Decap, I've got 5 stickers on this bad boy for you. You're over here with Jeremy Clore, Wolverine, Alaska. We only got room for maybe 4 or 5 more stickers. We're about to fill up our 4th helmet. And, if we do that today, I'll get one more helmet for next Wednesday, which will be the final of our planned live shows. We'll probably take a break on weekly live shows unless there's a demand for it. If there is, we'll keep doing them. with today's early feedback, Jack, I think the people are demanding we keep it rolling, right? I mean, already at $80 of super chats, and we've not even got things started. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Decap, the $50 super chat. You are on the helmet. You're going to get a big feature, top 10 on the end screen that's coming up. All right, guys, let's dive in. We went a little longer, 21 minutes on the build-up, but we got bombarded with super chats. What are you going to say? We are going to dive into the latest news and rumors, the recruiting class, take your questions, then dive into the Michigan football 2023 defensive depth chart, all coming up in the Michigan Football Report right now. You are watching the Michigan Football Report. I am your host, James Yoder. We're going to talk some Michigan football news, talk some recruiting. There's a little out there, but this is the second signing day. It's not as exciting as I think the December one has become. And then over the last day or so, there's been a lot of new transfer portal rumors, and there's one name in particular that I am wildly excited about. If Michigan can close the deal, there's a lot of academic things that might be in play here that I'll kind of elaborate on in a moment, but that is the word. Now, I want to start the show by getting to know you guys a little bit more. I've told you this in the past. I became a Michigan football fan, I think, at least the best of my memory. 1991 is the season I remember, right? I'm not going to tell you how old I was there. I was a wee boy. I'd been to a game or two before that. Dad had been a season ticket holder. And was kind of raised on Michigan football. But 1991, I remember the Desmond Howard Notre Dame game. I remember watching the Heisman Trophy ceremony at the house, all that stuff. So that's my year. It'll be like 30, 31 years. But I want to know from you guys, what year did you become a Michigan football fan? Case and Scott, right around the corner, 2016, good year from a winning perspective, kind of a disappointing. And then I like this comment, though, from Sean Paul Anthony. He says, James is our douche. He keeps the scene alive. Boot the haters. I like that. Did someone call me a douche above that? But I appreciate people. If you're going to call me a douche, at least I am your douche. At least I'm the Michigan football douche, if that is the sentiment out there. 1976 in Florida Gators, Mitch Kappas. 1977, Tim Baker. 1989, right, the final year of Bo Schembechler era. Stanley Pollock, 1963. Bill Graves, 1983. Randy Faust, also 1983. All right, let's take a look at the Matt Weiss criminal investigation. So, what do we know? I don't know what you guys, maybe you're not in the same position or kind of like just, when you're on a show and you get a decent audience here and there, sometimes people will reach out to you. People you've never even talked to, parents of players and stuff like that. And I've gotten an inbound on this over the last week. Some people are mad at me that I speculated because something really bad. Appreciate that. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit too much. But I am still very interested because I've heard two very different sides of what it could be. I don't know how this plays out. I would think if it's a criminal case, these things are public knowledge. Now, I'm not going to take my time and resources at this point to try and find out and do a FOIA request and try and get the police department to send me files. There's local media right there. The Detroit Free Press can do that. But I am just very interested because when this first came out last Tuesday, it seemed like, okay, we're going to suspend him for just, while the investigation's going on. And then, it's not that big of a deal. It wasn't anything terrible. But then a couple days later, they fire him. So it had to be something bad enough to be instantly fired. And I'm really curious what it is. And I think that's going to be one of the bigger, intriguing storylines that we're going to talk about here over the next month. Just what the hell he did, and if it was bad enough to be fired, and if he has a coaching career at all, whether it's not Michigan, obviously, but anywhere else in college football or the pros. I am just very intrigued of what becomes of Matt Weiss. Let's talk about transfer portal. How about this story? Davison Igbinosun. That's pretty good for me. Out of the state of New Jersey. How the hell did he end up down at Ole Miss? Well, he had a relationship going back years, at least his high school coaching staff and stuff. He knew of Chris Partridge, right? That was the lure. Chris Partridge, high school football coaching legend, Rashawn Gary and others, Jabril Peppers, etc., in New Jersey, came to Michigan as like a staffer 1 year, recruiting coordinator, then became a coach, right? Special teams coordinator was there. I think it was linebackers or secondary the 1 year as well. But moved on. Was recruited by SEC teams, ultimately landed the last couple of years at Ole Miss, was their defensive coordinator this past year. Prior to that, he was co-DC with another Michigan name, DJ Durkin, who's now at Texas A&M. Under the radar, Chris Partridge was fired a couple weeks ago, 10 days ago, like the 15th, but it's really been underreported because they haven't put out a press release or anything like that. It's just saying, hey, we've got our new DC, Pete Golding, the Alabama DC, who kind of got fired in his own right. Chris, go find yourself another job. So he's not actually with the staff, not recruiting, but he hasn't officially been fired. I think it's one of these situations, Michigan's done it in the past, where we'll announce your firing when you have a new job, trying to save face that you actually got fired. So thinking about Chris Partridge, if he helped land this first-team freshman All-American, at least according to collegefootballnews.com. They've been around for a while. They do a pretty good job. Could Chris Partridge, whether he comes back to Michigan or not, and I'm not speculating that he would, but if this player is interested in Michigan, say, hey, look, I coached with Jim Harbaugh. I know the Michigan program. Go there. Go get academics involved. Go, see how things shake out with Michigan, because there's other schools that are looking into him. Very productive player, right? Played in 13 games. All 13 games as a true freshman at the cornerback position for Ole Miss this past year. 10 starts, right? And those are sometimes inflated starts because, he wasn't always the second best corner, Nyckoles, or he was in there for a play here and there at the beginning of the game that counted as a start. But nevertheless, freshman All-American, or up there with, of course, who? Will Johnson, 5 pass pickups, 35 tackles. Folks, I think that Michigan's only area of weakness that I can really decipher right now is the second cornerback slot. You don't want to move Mike Sainer still there. He's found his niche at the nickel. You could even say defensive end, but with Josiah Stewart coming over from Coastal Carolina, I think that Michigan has got that position locked up at defensive end. I think it might be the missing piece. Now, the one interesting takeaway on this is that Michigan's class registration has ended for this spring semester, right? They go back to school earlier than other schools. So if he were to transfer to Michigan in the portal, he had to sit out this entire spring, right, where he can transfer into other schools like Tennessee and others right now and be part of spring ball. So Michigan is up against it. They're really going to have to sell him Jay Harbaugh and some others on waiting that 3-4 months until April to come be part of this program once spring football is over. I think Michigan's going to give it a heck of a shot. I don't know actually if they will be able to land him, but I think he potentially could be the missing piece between losing the semifinals next year and winning the whole national championship. Folks, the Michigan Football Report is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 on a daily basis, and it has truly made a difference in my overall health and well-being. You can get comprehensive, convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I started taking AG1 in the morning as part of my daily routine, and it's become a habit that I truly look forward to. Not only does it provide comprehensive health benefits, but it also makes me feel ready to take on the day. Whether I'm hitting the gym or just running errands, AG1 gives me the energy and focus I need to power through. In addition, AG1 is a great supplement for recovery, and it's a habit that I love to include before and after my workout. AG1 makes me feel like I am the same level as these Michigan football athletes that we all love to watch on Saturday afternoons, and inspires me to put in the work that they do as well. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. Done. It also costs less than $3 a day. Pretty good if you ask me. It's really effective daily habit with the highest quality source ingredients. Win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, folks, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to the link you see there at the bottom of the screen. It's athleticgreens.com/chatsports, athleticgreens.com/chatsports. It's down in the description of today's video. We'll put it in the live chat here in a moment as well. You get the free 5 travel packs and the 1-year supply of vitamin D, and you get it in this amazing package as well. I've been loving Athletic Greens. Not a big breakfast guy, but they have kind of turned me on to nutrition in the morning. You get the package, right? You get the awesome mixer, and this bottle is amazing. I've been chugging out of there. This isn't mine, though. Mine's at home. You got to refrigerate it. That is Athletic Greens. Get going with them. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. All right, folks, in a moment, we're going to talk on Jim Harbaugh's future contract gate. Is Michigan kind of keeping him on ice while his NCAA investigation goes on? We're going to tell you about that here in just a moment. But before we do, want to give some props to Jim Harbaugh, the ultimate troll, because this photo made the round Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever it was, hosting some different recruits in at Schembeckler Hall at his office. I want to remind myself who that photo was with. It was with Brian Robinson, who is a defensive lineman out of the state of Ohio. Okay, cool. So they're taking a picture in Harbaugh's living room area of his big office. Let's zoom in on that, Jack. Can we zoom in on that? Take a look at that right there. Now, we cropped the photo and completely reversed it. I'm sure you guys have seen this. It's enhanced it. It says everything, what does it say? I'm squinting there, Jack. Everything great about Ohio State. And Could you imagine what the contents of that book is, right? What does Jim Harbaugh want? He wants to recruit, high school coach, parents recruit to sit down. Ooh, everything great about Ohio State, your rival. Let's open it up. Blank pages. It's an empty book. What a troll job by Jim Harbaugh. I love it. I want to make sure you guys saw that. That's been out on the internet for a couple days now, but a wonderful troll job by Jim Harbaugh, and nobody does it better sometimes than him with handling the media and handling, just his approach with Ohio State, at least over the last couple years. All right, guys, let me know if you've subscribed to our YouTube channel yet. I'll give a couple of shout-outs to the people typing Y. If you have subscribed in the live chat, if you're watching this on Thursday night or Wednesday night or Thursday morning, go ahead and type Y. I'll make sure I go to reply to a couple dozen of those, thanking you. And, like we said before, if you enjoy the show and you type Y, go ahead and recommend it. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. Send it out to your friends. I want to give a couple of live shout-outs. Case and Scott, Mitch Kappas, Josh Sherwood, all given the Ys. Tim Baker with a Y, go blue, and Bosa, Brad LaCharelle is a Y. Go ahead and get your Ys in there in the comments. One more time, I'm going to tell you guys about our college football playoff time frame super chat leaders. We should just change that to, that's bringing up bad blood, Jack. I got to take a drink because of that one. These are the folks who have super chatted the most since mid to late November when we started our super chat tracking. John Blaze, Wolverine Alaska, Blue Wolverine, Cool Moti, Shane Johnson, Cody Mumford, Rick Harford, Dan Fair, John Crandall, and today's $50 super chat extraordinaire, D Cap. That is the top 10. Those folks are going to get a big placement on our end screen coming up here after February 1st. Let's talk Jim Harbaugh and his new contract. I told you that a week or so ago, there's a little talk of a handshake deal. Hey, I know what you're looking for, Jim. I know what we need to get there. Let's just kind of move forward. I have you looking for NFL jobs. But no movement since last week, since the coordinated message, 9 days ago or so, with Jim Harbaugh and Santa Ono. Sources have told me, what's the holdup? Jim Harbaugh's hired a lawyer, right, to represent him with the NCAA. And Michigan may just want to conclude that NCAA investigation first. Now, the question I'm asking is, will no contract for Jim Harbaugh, or no new contract, no extension, Tennessee's coach just got an extension, will it continue to hurt with recruiting like it did kind of last year, but it really hurt with this 2023 recruiting class? And what is Jim Harbaugh looking for, right? I think an appropriate salary. I don't think he needs to break the bank and go $15 or $20 million a year, but I would say he made 10 with incentives this year. I think he kind of wants to make 10 without incentives. Maybe he makes 11 or 12 up there. There's been talk that what Michigan is basically guaranteed him in some regards is, hey, going forward, we'll take the average of the top 5 other coaches in college football. Let's just say it's $13.1 million. That's your salary. We'll make it right at the end of the year. Okay, cool. Aggressive and innovative NIL approach, right? Two things to talk about here. Michigan did it recently with the One More Year Fund. Got Blake Corum, Zach Zinter, at least some money to come back. There's talk that Michigan and a major talent agency will sign an NIL deal. Will make it easier for companies to work with Michigan football athletes. And Stephen Ross, Miami Dolphins owner, a lot of chatter out there that he's kind of part of several high net worth individuals who are trying to put some sort of salary to every Michigan football player where they make, hey, guaranteed $20, $25, $30, $40,000 per year if you were on scholarship. That's what Jim Harbaugh is looking for, in addition to more support staff for recruiting, NIL, and transfer portal, plus bigger budget to keep your top assistant coaches. Now, I don't think there's any reason Michigan's got to wait. Right? What is the point for Michigan to wait if they think they know what happens? Right? The only reason to wait is if you think yourself that Jim Harbaugh is not just lying to the NCAA, that he's lying to you about what happened, and you're not going to support him in what happens. Because you can write clauses in any contract, right? I've read plenty of contracts in my day. You could say, if Michigan is hit with X, Y, or Z, level 1 sanctions, Jim Harbaugh suspended for more than 6 games, whatever it is, here's what happens. Suspended for more than 6 games. Okay, cool. You take a pay cut that year. Or level 1 sanctions, this, that. Okay, we reduce something. It's very easy, so I'm not sure why Michigan needs to wait for it, but that seems to be what is happening because it's been, 25 days since Michigan's season ended, and it's been 2 months now since Michigan beat Ohio State again, and I think Jim Harbaugh does deserve a contract that pays him in line with his accomplishments, at least over the last 2 years. You're going to cut his salary after 2-4 season. It was valid. You got to increase it after a 25 and 1 back-to-back regular seasons for this team. Did I say beat Ohio State again 2 months into this? Make sure we're typing the Bosas. We're not forgetting about Bosa, guys. Beat Ohio State again. It feels so good. It's been nearly 4 years, 3.5 years since Michigan lost to Ohio State, since Ohio State beat Michigan in November of 2019. And it's going to be a long year for Ohio State, especially if they lose again. I think Ryan Day's on the hot seat potentially and might lose his job if they lose in Ann Arbor on 10 months from today, actually, Jack. 10 months from today, November 25th. So keep the Bosa's going. Low rent, Jacksonville Zoe, a hard-act guy, Jeff Rua, my guy, I haven't seen you in a bit, Bill Graves, Tim Baker. But here's the new battle cry. Bosa's not changing. Saw this on some recruiting materials over the weekend, and Jack and I were talking about it with our shirts. Right, we've got the 2023 shirts. It says LA on it for the CFP. We're crossing it off. We're putting Houston, 3-hour drive from where we're at. This is the new battle cry. I might just make T-shirts, right? Maybe we got the Don T-shirt. We should just make one, Jack. And it's the same exact T-shirt that says 23, right? 23 here, and instead of the Don, it just says Houston or bust right there. That might be the next shirt. Houston or bust. That's the new Bosa. Maybe we just go HOB, Hob. That could be the Hob. We're going to Hob it. We're hobnobbing with Bosa. It's the new battle cry. Bosa's not going away. It's got to be the number one focus. But back-to-back semifinal losses. Unbelievable one against TCU. The national championship game in Houston next January. That has got to be the absolute focus of this program. We are on Flip Watch. Cameron Brandt was visiting Michigan over the weekend, and he's been committed to Stanford for about 6 months or so since July. The LA area 3-star defensive lineman visited Michigan over the weekend, and his decision is going to come in the next few days. If not, if he announced it, he said he needed a couple days to think about it. Academics will really drive it. Committed to Stanford, and if you guys don't know, Stanford does not admit athletes into the school unless their credentials are better than the worst regular student, right? So if you wouldn't get in as a student, you're not getting in as an athlete. So clearly academics are a big part of him if he got accepted and was allowed to commit back to Stanford in July. That means he was kind of towards the top half of the class, given early enrollee or early admission standards. My guess is that he makes a decision in the next couple of days, maybe announce it or just announces on signing day. But I do think that he will flip to Michigan. Now, this is going to be pretty interesting to see kind of how it shakes out, right? Stanford's been in limbo. They just got a new head coach. They've been really struggling for about the last 3 or 4 years, although I do like David Shaw. I think he's done a decent job. That thing has just kind of fell off. It felt like a good time. If my son had a scholarship offer football to Stanford, I'd tell him to go to Stanford. But, that's just me. But we'll see how things shake out. There was some word that it could happen during this live show. So if you guys see, we're not be able to check things as easily while we're live here. If he does flip Cameron Brandt from Stanford to Michigan while we're live, just put it in the chat. But don't try and trick us, okay? Don't try and trick us. But let us know in the comments. We'll keep an eye on it, throughout this show. Well, we asked you guys just a few minutes ago, how likely are you to recommend this show to a friend? The live audience has already answered this, so really appreciate though. But if you're watching on demand Wednesday night or Thursday, let me know, scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I wouldn't at all. This show kind of stinks. 10 would be absolutely. Anything between 8 and 10, we love that kind of feedback. Recommended the show to a friend. Send that link, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Subscribe now if you haven't. But if we're below an 8, tell us what we can do to improve that we can get that 8, 9, or 10 kind of like net promoter score is really what they call it. Seeing quite a few 10s, 9.25s from the Russian judge from Jacksonville Zoe. But let me know in the live chat and down in the comments. All right, we are going to keep this show rolling, folks. Coming up in a moment, we're going to kind of keep rolling on recruiting class. But before we do, let's keep the live chat humming and popping. All together now. Go Blue. Give me a Go Blue in the live chat, folks. I want to see if you guys are repping the Michigan Football Report and the Michigan Football Program as the Wolverines hot. They're hot going into 2023, right? One of the best backfields returning in college football history. J.J. McCarthy, 5-star quarterback, 2 starting wide receivers, 8, 9 deep at offensive line, 2 deep, 3 deep at tight end. Defensive line, okay, cool. There's a couple holes there maybe. Linebacker stacked. Secondary, pretty stacked. That second cornerback role. I might take this off, Jack. It's getting a little hot in here. I have to take off all my clothes, as they say in the streets. But let me know what you guys are thinking with Go Blues if you are super pumped for this Michigan football program and everything that we've got going on over the season. All right, so we just talked the latest news and rumors around Michigan football, Jim Harbaugh, Matt Weiss, a little bit speculation, and Nyckoles Harbaugh. Now, we're going to dive more into the recruiting class. Just going to tell you where the rankings are shaking out at, what Michigan has going on right now with this team and with this program. Before we do, Jack, I want to get my, I don't know why, it's the second week in a row, I've got the second browser so I can easily look at the the chat over on this screen, but it like logged me out again. It kind of thinks I'm somebody else. But nevertheless, before we dive into that next segment, let me get the chat going over here one more time. Producer Jack, a.k.a. Young Harbaugh, completely swagged out today. He's got the Michigan hat on. He has got the Michigan sweatshirt. Pretty sweet sweatshirt, Jack. You showed the people before too long what that sweatshirt is all about. 211 people watching here on the Michigan Football Reporters. We are about to dive into the 2023 recruiting class. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Sean, he said, had been subscribed since 2015. Then we launched this on YouTube in 2018, putting content in 2019. So maybe you're subscribed to the Facebook page, which is about when we created that Facebook page back in 2015, started doing content, 2016 here and there on Facebook Live, and then 2019 off-season and 2020 season here on YouTube. All right, guys. Jack, you coming on with me? Is that what's going on here? You show the people Jack's got this pretty sick sweatshirt. Didn't even put an expense report for it. He just bought that boy himself. He's got Michigan football with the Jordan brand. Producer Jack, a.k.a. Young Harbaugh, behind the scenes. So appreciate him. Appreciate all you guys are watching. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the show here. Recruiting class Q&A. So use hashtag Michigan. We got a few of those ready to go. Take a look at the Super Chat leaderboard one more time. Give shout outs to John Blaze, Wolverine Laska, Blue Wolverine, Cool Moti, Shane Johnson, Cody, Rick, Dan, John, and D-Cap. No cap unless you're D-Cap. He put in with a 50 banger earlier on in the show. Join the Hard Hat Club, though, guys. If you want to be part of this, we're about to fill up our last hard hat. 4 hard hats here. All kinds of names here. Jeremy Clore, John Blaze, Eastside Zach, some guy, Cody Mountford, mentioned him as well. Clayton Amboy, Never Bold 11. Let's see if I can get a couple that have this. This is one of the helmets that's like all John Blaze. Cody Mountford again, John Crandall, Kumo T. Who's that one? Cody Miller, a different Cody. And I'll give a few more shout outs here. John Blaze, a lot of the same people sometimes. Dan Fair, Leanne, who's Wolverine Laska's daughter. Rock City, Josh Sherwood, Preston Yoder. My son gave me $20 from his birthday fund to get the hard hats rolled. That is the Hard Hat Club. If you super chat $10, well, $50 super chat? $50 super chat from John Crandall. Bang! John Crandall with the 50 banger. No one's putting in comments today, Jack, but nevertheless, John Crandall coming in with the 50 banger. He says, go blue, Bosa. Maybe we can toss that one on there, Jack. It's really hot in here, Jack. While I'm getting this, I'm going to get this fan going. Apologize to everybody watching. You've got to watch behind the scenes. It's getting hot in the studio. It's, getting it towards the end of the day. I'm guessing they turned off the AC or whatever they're doing here at the Michigan Football Bar. John Crandall, he is, that's the end of the helmet, actually, Jack. We have no more room on the helmet. John Crandall has completed the cycle, so I got to get him on the last bit of the helmet. John, you appreciate you there. You are going to be on the John Crandall's had a few of them, though, before, right? So he's going to be – Jack is updating the leaderboard. I am going to try and stick with things. John – that's, C.R. Crandall. Thank you for bearing with us, everybody, as I give attribution to people who super chat. I know it's probably not that great to watch me write someone's name on a sticker, but hope that you guys can appreciate the folks that have super chatted and trying to give them their attribution. All right, John, you're getting one right there at the top, along with some of the big dogs like yourself with Jeremy Clore. I wrote over Jeremy Clore's name. I can't do that. I got to fix that. Jeremy. All right, John, and then we are going to get you right here on this side of the helmet, and I owe you 3 more. I will get to you in a second. Why don't we do the 3 more? We'll give him some more love, Jack, after. Just remind me, 3 more for Crandall, for John Crandall, here at after we go over the latest Michigan football recruiting news, rumors, and such. John Crandall, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. You are in the top 10 now, I believe, right? And you are it's got to sync, so Jack is putting those up there. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I don't think it's the most amount of big super chats we have gotten in one sitting. So there is the updated leaderboard. Crandall is up there at $100, top 5. So he's almost on the Mount Rushmore there if we want to go there. I'm just going to finish him off here so we don't forget Jack. John Crandall. It's 2 L's, right? Yep. 125. John Crandall. 125. And one more Thank you, everybody, for bearing with me. We try and do things different. I'm not sure if everybody else does this, but trying to make the audience part of the show. We offer the show for free. You guys sit through ad reads, and that's something I know maybe is annoying at times if you're not interested in the products, but we really believe in the products that we work with. So go support Manscaped, go support Athletic Greens. I've used the products where we would not support them. There's been one or two over the years. John Crandall, you are popping, baby. You are all over this helmet now, my man. John Crandall has 5. I think we have room for 1 or 2 more stickers, but nevertheless, gosh, this thing has gotten packed pretty fast. We got to get a new helmet, I think. Got to get those Amazon orders up and make sure we have enough stickers to keep it rolling. John Crandall, thank you so very much. He says Go Blue was what he Go Blue and Bosa was what the comments were. Live from Charlotte says J.D. Williams. Jacksonville, though, Yoder's figured out that it's best to fill out the sticker before putting on the helmet. Yeah, we learned that the hard way, actually. There was some growing pains with a lot of the things that we did with the sticker. So appreciate pointing that out to Jacksonville. So, all right, guys, let's dive into the latest on Michigan football recruiting, the 2023 recruiting class, all coming up right now. Ann Arbor, right? You followed Nyckoles Arbor. The LeBron James of high school football is what his high school coach called him. He's an athletic freak. 6'5", 6'6", 230, 25, 40 pounds, depending on what season it is. He could play tight end. He could play wide receiver. Hell, he could play defensive end. Maybe he can even play safety or cornerback. We'll see in the future. Big-time track athlete. It's been Michigan, South Carolina, LSU here and there, Maryland. His hometown team is from DC, but Oregon has made a big push. He's going to visit there this weekend. I think my guts tell me it's going to come down to Michigan and Oregon. I don't know. We saw what they did with Dante Moore. Couldn't keep him, but NIL plays a bigger part of their recruiting pitch than right now it does for Michigan. Michigan, Sharon Moore, Jim Harbaugh, Ron Bellamy, visited him last night in-house. Came out feeling good. Tuesday night, I should say. If you're watching this on Friday, on Tuesday night, they feel good, feel optimistic, cautiously optimistic, but they know that Oregon might kind of just drop the big-time bag. I don't think we're going to find out until Wednesday on National Signing Day, so it could be a bigger-than-expected show. Ann Arbor, Nyckoles Arbor to Michigan, I'm putting it at 50-50 Michigan-Oregon battle. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. If you've got a beard, you think it's a mistake? You think this bad boy is a mistake? It's because I got Manscaped's amazing new beard products. It is awesome. I'll tell you about more in a few moments. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code GOBLUE, no spaces, 20% off and free shipping. All right, now we're going to talk about the 2023 recruiting class. Kind of a refresher, right? Less than a week till those faxes come across the board with the final 2023 commits. And there's not really much to kind of talk about, but some guys have been updated where their rankings are. Michigan's entire class, took a little rankings change in a good way following signing day on December 21st. I want to ask you guys this question before we dive into the recruiting classes. Do you love Michigan football? You see right there at the top of the screen, right there, sorry. Do you love Michigan football? If so, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're going to try and keep the most content this offseason. A lot of times in the offseason, people do less. We're going to try and do more this year. I had to do less last offseason because of things away from the company. Had a child in the hospital, some family stuff. Okay, cool. But this offseason, hopefully that stuff does not arise, and we will be putting out 4 or 5 videos per week and live at least 2-3 times a month. So make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/MichiganTV. If you didn't follow, here are the early enrollees from this class, guys who are already on campus, and quite a few of them practiced before the TCU game, and a number of them, including Cole Cabana there, traveled out to the Fiesta Bowl on Michigan's dime as part of just new rules, new day in the NCAA. So Jair Hill signed a commitment for Michigan back in December. Cole Cabana, maybe the future running back, although I think some people think he's a little too small for that. Amir Herring out of the state of Michigan, Cameron Calhoun, and Samaj Morgan. Ironically, 2 Samajes in this class, right? James backward, kind of wild. The wide receiver there out of the state of Michigan as well. Frederick Moore, wide receiver is in his own right. Zach Marshall, right? I think Zach Marshall could be a guy we talk about in a few years that he was an undervalued part of this class. I think he can make a big-time impact. Benjamin Hall wasn't a starter on his high school team. He's early enrolled. I think that's one that if he never makes an impact in Michigan, I wouldn't be surprised, hoping for the best for him. And then the guy from France, let's just call him Kumba. He is on campus as well, Michigan's international connection. As you may have seen, Michigan optimistic following their in-home visit with Nyckoles Arbor on Tuesday night. Sharon Moore Jim Harbaugh, Ron Bellamy went out to visit him, right? Laid all the cards on the table, told him what Blake Corum, told him what J.J. McCarthy have got from NIL deals as the faces of the Michigan football program, have showed what Donovan Edwards is getting offered coming out of his big-time end of the season, and really has come up as a superstar in college football. Will that be enough? Plus Michigan's track program, which is not as developed as Oregon or LSU and others, will that be enough to kind of follow maybe his heart, I think, is the Michigan football program. But NIL and track are the other portions of his decision. Heading out to Oregon this weekend, I'm calling it 50-50. If it's a money deal, which I think is short-sighted, but I'm not going to blame him if it's a money deal. If he wants $200,000, $300,000 in guaranteed or something like that, he might just go ahead and choose Oregon if they can offer that. But I think 3 years from now, he'd be worrying about $20 or $30 million from the NFL. I believe Michigan has a better chance to get him there. So I think Nyckoles Harbor should think about his future and not his present. That's Michigan, but I think we're going to find out on February 1st on National Signing Day next Wednesday. All right, guys, if you're excited for Michigan's 2023 recruiting class, give us a like in the video. Shameless plug for likes, but we got to make it worth your while. Likes put this video in the YouTube feeds of more Michigan football fans, so it's almost like guerrilla marketing for us. So if you're interested in helping us out, like the video and do it just because you're excited about this Michigan football 2023 recruiting class. Got producer Jack in my ear. What's that, Jack? Breaking news, folks. We got some breaking news here. Manscaped has launched beard products finally. Finally, I've been shaving my beard with all kinds of whack products over the years. Sometimes I go long, sometimes I go mustache. I like to keep a little 5 o'clock shadow. And this bad boy is awesome, folks. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. Bearded gentlemen, Manscaped has launched a bearded grooming kit. If you're tired of multiple products to maintain your beard, look no further than the Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped. This complete beard maintenance kit has everything you need from the modern man on the go. Trimming, treatment, this kit has it all. It's got a beard hedger, an AC adapter, a USB-C cable, shampoo, conditioner for your beard, oil, balm, and a travel bag. Plus, as a special bonus, you receive a free beard accessory pack with a beard brush, comb, and beard scissors. Folks, this bad boy is designed with a unique cutting angle to have its built-in comb lift your flat-lying hairs for a smooth, single-stroke trimming. And for a limited time, you get 20% off. 20% off. Free shipping. If you've got a beard, or if you got some guy in your life that's got this scraggly beard that looks like, it's very unkempt, this is the product for you. I mean, it comes an amazing thing. It can charge. It's got a lights. Let me turn this bad boy on. There, it's charged. Got a little light there. You can take in the shower. Feel that vibration? Oh yeah, Jack. You like that? And it comes with the rest. And they're like the Apple of products. They come with amazing boxes. Conditioner. It's got the little beard. This bad boy. Okay, and all the different products that I told you about. So get going. Manscaped has reinvented the beard grooming game. Manscaped.com. Promo code GOBLUE. I've got mine right here. I've got mine at home. This is the office one, but nevertheless, you guys get it. Manscaped.com / promo code GOBLUE. Link is in the comments and description and in the live chat. Let's talk about Cameron Brandt a little bit more. He's an academics-focused kid. He is coming in from Southern California, visited Michigan this past weekend. Michigan put the word down on him. They said, look, Michigan is a top 10 university in all of college athletics. Some people say it's the best public university, and that ranking varies from time to time. But they basically said, look, Stanford might be here. Michigan, Stanford, academic-wise. But right now, and especially for the next 3 years, 4 years, Michigan's here. Through the roof, above this thing, and Stanford's way down here, right? Stanford is a below 500 program right now. Michigan's way up here. So if you want to maximize your future, Cameron Brandt, all right, you come over to Michigan, you get a great education of all kinds of opportunities educationally, professionally, et cetera, but you also could be an NFL player. You also might win Big Ten titles, beat Ohio State, go to the national championship, go to the college football playoff. And I think that pitch did the trick for him. I think, hell, by the time you're watching this, if you're watching on Thursday, watching on Friday, the flip might already be in. Hell, it could be in right now. I don't think we'll hear an official announcement. I could be wrong until signing day. Keep a little excitement for February 1st. Here's what he said coming out of his Michigan visit over this past weekend. The plan is to take the next couple of days and really reflect on what I want to do. Hopefully, I can have a final decision by the weekend. That's kind of coming up into this weekend, which come up on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A lot of recruits will be out there visiting. As far as I know, Brandt does not have a visit scheduled this weekend, but you know, things could change. You could take one last look at Stanford. It's only a short 4 or 5 hour drive up from LA or a 45-minute flight. Let's take a look at the 2023 recruiting classes. Where does Michigan shake out? I'll kind of roll through them here. Mississippi State, Texas Tech, Nebraska, Arkansas, and Utah. Then you have Florida State, TCU, Auburn, Michigan at 17. Nice little come up inside the top 20, whereas they were in the mid-20s for most of the cycle. Inside the top 15, USC, Penn State, Florida, Texas A&M, and Clemson. Now, Florida's lost a couple guys, right? Their top corner, 5-star, has decommitted, and their top quarterback, top 60, 70 player, 4-star quarterback. Both those guys thinking they're getting big NIL deals that didn't pan out. Oregon, top 10. If they get Nyckoles Harbaugh, they'll probably pop up in the top 7 or 8. Notre Dame, Tennessee, Miami, and Ohio State at number 6. Inside of the top 5, it's a lot of the same teams, although pleasantly surprised that Oklahoma, with Brett Venables, new coach, little new coach bump, and Texas under Sark are in the top 5. But at the end of the day, 2 years from now, this will be an all SEC top 5, so it's a little scary to think about. But Texas, Oklahoma, keeping up with the Joneses of the SEC. They both have top 5 classes for this 2023 cycle. All right, we'll talk through Michigan's entire recruiting class in a moment, but I want to know from you guys, what's the first year you followed Michigan football recruiting? I was thinking about this today. The first year I followed Michigan football recruiting was actually signing day in February 1998. I remember at the Yoder household, like a USA Day was slapped on the table. It's like, Michigan got the number 1 class. This is coming out of the 97 season. A month prior, Michigan won the national championship, beat Washington State in the Rose Bowl, and then they get Drew Henson, David Terrell, Justin Fargas, Marquise Walker, and on from there. Offensive-laden superstar class. Didn't really pan out. A bunch of those guys had nice careers. Drew Henson, I think, really wish he would have came back for the 2002 season, or 2001 season, I should say. That was the first year I really paid attention to recruiting, and then I was kind of hooked for about 10 years after that. Last 10 years, once kind of Rich Rod Brady Hoke started struggling, it was tough for me to really care as much. But let me know what year, what cycle you guys followed recruiting the most. Bill Graves in the live chat says 1994. We'll kind of go back to those here in a moment in the live chat. If you're watching on demand, go down in the comment. Let me know, kind of see how you guys are reacting to different recruiting stories over the past, hell, for me, it's been a couple of decades. Here's the 2023 Michigan football recruiting class as things stand now, right? We hope Nyckoles Harbaugh is in addition to this class. Of course, we hope that Cameron Brandt flips from Stanford. But as of now, Eno Etta, 4-star, number 119 in the country. Jair Hill, I should say, out of the state of Illinois, 166 overall. Cole Cabana inside the state of Michigan. Carmelo English. So Hill and English, 2 of the top 4 guys, were December signing day commits to Michigan. English out of the state of Alabama. Keep it rolling here. Evan Link, offensive lineman, 4-star, number 260 overall. Amir Herring, number 278. Samaj Bridgman, linebacker. Not Samaj Morgan, another player with the name Samaj. Those are the 4 stars. Then Nathan Afobe, kind of shaking out your 4 stars here with Deacon Tonielli, the tight end, number 397. I like this tight end class that Michigan has going on here with Tonielli and Zach Marshall. Cameron Calhoun, the cornerback. Samaj Morgan, the wide receiver out of the state of Michigan. Frederick Moore, out of, I think, with St. Louis for him, the 3-star. The rest of these guys are going to be 3 stars here. Jason Hewlett, Zach Marshall, 3-star. I like what I see as Zach Marshall. I think he is underrated at this point. Roderick Pierce out of Illinois, flipped from Wisconsin to Michigan right before signing day. Brooks Barr looks like he's out of a Field of Dreams or something like that. With that, this is like his recruiting profile photo. It's really weird, but nevertheless, number 71 defensive lineman, mid-level 3-star, number 660 overall. Benjamin Hall was second and sometimes third stringer on his high school team this past season as a senior. But committed to Michigan a while back, early enrollee. Michigan's going to give him a shot, but I don't expect much from him. But hell, better coaching, better motivation. Maybe he can be a part of this Michigan football team as a contributing player. We're going to call him Kumbaya, the Frenchman. I think he would be a borderline 5-star, top 50 player if he was in America. Nevertheless, he's coming in from overseas as an edge. Kind of reminds me of David Ojabo because of the same backgrounds. Kendrick Bell. Now, will play quarterback, right? It's Ronnie's brother. He'll play quarterback, start at quarterback, not meaning the starting quarterback, but he'll begin his career at quarterback. But I ultimately think he will move to corner or more likely wide receiver like his brother. Hayden Moore, the linebacker role, and then rounding out the class, Breon Ishmael, another linebacker out of the state of Ohio, kind of under-recruited, under-ranked. Deshaun Waller Jr., 3-star. Both those guys are recent commits, etc. And then Michigan's kicker, Adam Samaha, 3-star, 2012 highest ranked player in the country. I don't even know why you rank kickers. They should have their own rankings. Shouldn't really be bunched in there with the rest of the class. So it's an okay class. It's pretty good. I think you've got 5 or 6 guys who will contribute next year. I think you got another 5 guys who will be in the 2 deep by their second year. And you probably got, like most classes, probably have 10 or 12 players who are significant contributors their 3rd and 4th year, 8 of them starters, and you probably have half that class shake out. You just hope that you get higher level impact from the best guys, the contributors, and not like the 2007 class where you have almost everybody transfer or wash out. But we'll see how things shake out. Michigan's got the number 17 class in the country. They are the number 3 class in the Big Ten. Ohio State, kind of a down year for them. Like number 6 class down year from them. But like 2 years ago, if you remember, Ohio State had like 5 or 6 5-stars. They had 11 top 100 guys. Nowhere near that high of ranked class this year. So their recruiting prowess is kind of coming down as Michigan's wins over them are going up. Penn State, they were a top 5 class for most of the cycle. They really dropped off over the past 2-3 months. Michigan 17, Nebraska. And congratulations Michigan State for being the 26th best class, you bums. Number 5 in the Big Ten. Now, Michigan is ranked around the same across the various recruiting services. The 24/7 Sports Composite is Michigan at 17. It's basically putting together ESPN, Rivals, and their own rankings. I don't think as of yet they're doing the new service on 3. ESPN's got them at 17. Rivals got them at 17. On 3's got them at 18. And 24 in their own ranking 17. So this is pretty much consensus there that Michigan has the 17th best class in all of college football for 2023. How does that compare to past years under Jim Harbaugh? 2023, number 17. Last year, big signing day. Remember, if you guys remember, a lot of flips on signing day. Michigan, number 9 class. 2 years ago, though, J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards, Xavier Worthy, although he didn't end up in Michigan. Number 13 class, kind of surprising. That class wasn't ranked higher. Number 10 in 2020, number 8 in 2019. And then Michigan's was kind of bad year number 3 under Harbaugh. 17, they had 5 losses, and you go into the 18 recruiting class right out of that season, 22 ranked. And that class put out a lot of good guys, right? Go back and look at the 2018 recruiting class, Hassan Haskins and others. So it's not, I think actually Aiden Hutchinson as well was in that class. But go ahead and give me a grade. A, B, C, D, or F. What is your grade of this Michigan football 2023 recruiting class? In a vacuum, I'm going to go a B. But knowing what I know, back-to-back Big Ten championships, I think they should be shooting for a little higher than 17. So I'm going to go with a B- on this class. But let me know what you guys think. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F. Hell, you can do plus, you can do minus if you're not an amateur. Let me know in the comments and a live chat. My grade, B- for this team. Wednesday, February 1st. National Signing Day. Haven't figured out what time we're going to go live. We're going to try and base on like what happened with Jair Hill. We knew he was going to go commit, so we went live right around the time he committed, brought you that commitment with limited Wi-Fi coverage right here live on YouTube. So we're going to base on that. If Michigan's got anybody announcing any of the guys we've just talked about, Nyckoles Harbor, Cameron Brandt, or others that we're not even sure about yet, we'll base it on that. But I'll announce on Twitter. We'll put it on the shows over the next couple of days, and we'll for sure kind of like fine-tune it at a time, probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. So make sure you subscribe, and make sure you join us for National Signing Day next Wednesday, February 1st, for a live Michigan football report. 2 segments down, 2 to go, and we are 1 hour and 3 minutes into this show. I'm going to go back to the live chat because I've seen a bunch of stuff. Jacksonville Zoe is keeping it rolling. Jacksonville Zoe, keep this bad boy going. You're leading the charge here. So B from Case and Scott, Mitch Kappas with the C, Tim Baker says B. This is a recruiting class grade. Jacksonville Zoe, B. Josh Heischkel, I hope I pronounced that. It was a B as well. Let's take a look here, Jack. What do we got going on? So we're going to do the Michigan. Let me ask this question first. Sorry. What's the best pizza place in the state of Michigan? I'd love to know from you guys. I've got a couple trips to the state of Michigan this summer. It doesn't have to be just Ann Arbor or Detroit. We'll be all around. So let me know what the best pizza place in the state of Michigan is. We're going to document these. Hungry Howie's. I'll go to the top 3. Maybe we'll do a Portnoy-style pizza review. Hungry Howie's. Jack gave a moan for that one. He wasn't feeling Hungry Howie's, was he? Is it a fast food chain? Oh, boy. Fast food chain for, oh, gosh. Coach Sully says C+ on Michigan's recruiting class. Sean Paul Anthony, C+ with the development. Michigan's development U, so maybe an A- with development. Buddies! Pizza Sam's, Alma, in Alma, Michigan, in the middle of the state. That may be a tougher one to get to, but we are documenting it. I'll see if I can get past there. Let me know the best pizza place in the state of Michigan. Buddies and Nyckoles in downtown Detroit. Like it. Buddy's Pizza. Buddy's the spot. Buddy's the guy. So I think we're going to Buddy's no matter what. That's the spot. If you guys have any other ones for me, let me know in the live chat. What is the best pizza spot in Michigan? All right, let's take a look at today's show, Jack. As we have 200 people watching live. Maybe we should try and do, Jack, which we don't do a lot in the show. Guys, chat rate is kind of low really quick. So can you join me really quick? Mitch Capper says my house is the best spot for there in Anthony's Gourmet. We've got our chat right now is below 20, right? That means 20 comments per minute or less. Can we get 100 comments per minute right now? So either do one of two things. I'm not going to move on to the show until we can get 100 comments per minute average comment right. So type me if you want a shout out, but just do this. Type anything. Type like look at the live chat. What I'm going to do right here. So I'm just going to go like 1 or right there, or just a bunch of letters. Go crazy with the chat right now. All right, next 60 seconds. Let's go crazy with the chat. See if we can get it up to 100 because we're struggling right now. It's saying, warning, your chat is too low, James, is what they're telling me right now. So I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. Can we blow it up? Can we blow the chat? Get this bad boy going. Just blow it up. Just type whatever you want, all right? I'm doing it right there. Jack is in there as well. 50 seconds left in the live chat. I haven't seen the chat rate increase, though. Can we get it to 100, though? Can we get 100 comments in 60 seconds? 40 seconds left. You can comment as many times as you want. I got John Crandall with Bosa, Sherwoody with a B, Mitch Kappas, me, Bosa, Bosa Case, and just type anything, guys. Do one of these. Natty or Nothing from Becky and Chad, Carson Scott, I'm sorry, Go Blues. Keep it rolling here. Chat rate it's coming up. It's coming up, guys. We got 20 seconds left. If everybody watching can comment 3 times in the next 20 seconds, we will hit that goal of 100 chats per minute. Appreciate you guys. 10 seconds left. 9. We're getting close. Just type anything. Just type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a bunch of times. 10, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to do a couple myself. Okay, I think we hit it. 100. Okay, cool. We did it, guys. Appreciate you guys. There we go. 100. So thanks for bearing with us on that. We did got the critically low chat mark on the live dashboard. So we'll keep it rolling. Yeah, computer was going to explode if we didn't get there. So JJ from Heisen from Subconscious Wizard. I like this one. Casey Scott, get Corum's car back. There's something suspect about this story. Not saying it's Blake Corum, but it's kind of weird that the Heisman Trophy kind of favorite running back superstar's car gets stolen on campus. Gosh, brutal. We all know Yoder kind of all 100 in his head. Now we got a little dashboard here, Jacksonville Zoe. We got a little dashboard here. Becky and Chad, a Michigan Wolverine. I'm losing the chat here, but nevertheless, we are going to keep it rolling here. Take your questions. So use hashtag Michigan if you want on the show. But guys, join the Hard Hat Club. We've added How many hard hats we added, Jack? What's our number out here? We have added 17, right? Well, 16 and a half because we got one half from $25. Who was that? I can't. That was Chad Ode, my guy. So if you want to get the Hard Hat Club, so get you 2 things. We're going to send these hard hats out. We're going to send the top 2 to the top 2 on this board after next Wednesday. So right now it's John Blaze and it's Wolverine Alaska. So if you want $10, want to get on there, show the Super Chat leaderboard there. Those are our guys, the top Super Chatters over the last 60 days. They're going to get the top 2. Blake Corum signed football. Going to fill one of these helmets up with a bunch of dollar bills to make it rain. Give a jersey away. But the other 2, we're going to include. We're going to kind of raffle off to anybody who's got a $10 super chat over this 2-month period, ending next Wednesday, February 1st, on our live National Signing Day show. And then you get a spot on our post-show credits. So you kind of be an executive producer of the show with any $10 super chat over the next 8 days. If you get in this top 10 list, you're going to get a big spot on it. If you get any $10, though, you will be on the post-show credits. That means you're a big part of the show and a big part of helping us do what we do. All right, next 12 to 15 minutes, guys. It is 6:08 East Coast time. We're going to take your questions. We've got a few in the hopper from earlier in the show, but if you want to be on the show, Courtney Harper, come on, son Harper, my guy, go blue. See you in there. If you want to be on the show, just use hashtag Michigan, pops you to the top of the queue. We're going to toss you on screen. I'll take your questions in the next 15 or so minutes here on the Michigan Football Report. It's mailbag time. I am your host, James Yoder, taking your questions, diving into what's on you guys' mind around this Michigan football program. Back-to-back Big Ten championships, back-to-back dominating wins over Ohio State, and potentially the most exciting Michigan football team coming back into a season that I can remember. Hell, I mean, it's going to be an exciting one. Team is stacked on offense and defense, losing some guys, of course. Jake Moody could be a big hurt next year, but I am super pumped about this year. So use hashtag Michigan or Super Chat to get your live questions answered. First question coming in from JJ's dad's hands. Who are these people? I get that. You guys saw the thing from the TCU Bowl. I think it was a mistake, by the way. People try to say like he grabbed JJ's girlfriend's butt or like kind of pinched her or something like that. I think it was more like this. He went for 5 and she didn't do it. And these are very narrow seats. I think he kind of put his hand down, like make sure she didn't like bump into him or something like that. I don't think it was a nefarious act, but nevertheless, I don't think this is a legit account either way. But I'd like your opinion. Where does 2003 rank in terms of preseason hype in your time as a fan? So we saw this question earlier. I sent Jack, producer Jack, aka Young Harbaugh, my list on the down low right after we got this question earlier on in the show. So before we show the list, I want to premise this. Right? I put this in as of my lifetime. And I'm just saying, as far as I can comprehend, I'm just going to say 1995 to present. So 26, 27, 28 years. What I feel like the most external non-Michigan fans, internal Michigan fans, and then talent coming back, proven talent, what they've already done, not what we're expecting them to do, they've already done, the top 5 most hyped Michigan football teams over the last 25, 26 years. Here is my list. All right. 2023, this is the most hyped. You have a 5-star returning quarterback. You've got the best running back combo the Big Ten's ever seen returning into one season. One of the top 5, I think, really honestly, in the history of college football of proven talent, proven stats, right? Then you got 2007, right? Michigan started 11-0, lost to Ohio State, lost to USC. Then you had Henne, Hart, 4-year starters, Mario Manningham, the number 1 pick in the draft the following year, Jake Long, and pretty good defense, Sean Crable and some others. They lost a few guys, Lamar Woodley. But that was a disaster season. They ended up with 4 losses, but ended up beating Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow at the end of the year. Lost to App State, of course, and Oregon to start the year. 2018 season, right? Why was this so hyped? You had 10 starters returning on defense. As we get a super chat coming in from Jacksonville Zoe, we'll get that to you in just a second, Jacksonville. Appreciate you. 2018 season, ton of guys coming back at defense, Devin Bush and others, but Shea Patterson, right? 5-star quarterback. I think that's the only thing missing in the 2017 season to pair with Donovan Peoples-Jones, to pair with Michigan's wide receiver core that was kind of high rate, Tariq Black and others. 2000 season, Drew Henson, David Terrell, Marquise Walker, the A-Train, Anthony Thomas. Tom Brady took him to a 11-2 season the year before, Sugar Bowl win over Orange Bowl win, over Alabama. And you think, okay, wow, Tom Brady, he was okay, but now we got superstar Drew Henson with basically the same offense. That was a hype team. Ended up with 3 losses. And then you go back to the 2005 season, right? Why is that an interesting one? You had a true freshman, Chad Henne, true freshman Mike Hart as your backfield quarterback, running back. And then you had Steve Breston. You had Jason Avant coming back as the wide receivers. You lost Braylon Edwards, okay, but you had a stacked team. You had Ernest Shazer, Marlon Jackson on the defense side of the ball. It was an absolutely stacked team. But 2005, that was a struggle bus as well for Michigan, right? They started off at one point, I think they were like 3-3 in the middle of October. They really struggled, ended up with a 5-loss year. So those hype teams haven't always turned out the best. Go back to it one more time really quick, Jack, if you can for me. Just want to kind of recap those teams, the top 5 most hyped teams of a Michigan football program of my lifetime. The last 26, 27 years have been following. So 2017, 4 loss. 2018, 2 loss. You started off, I guess it ended up being 3 losses. Lost to Notre Dame, but that was probably the best of the other 4, right? You won 10 games, went to Ohio State, ranked number 4, lost that game, lost the bowl game. 2003 loss year, although Michigan was up in double digits on all 3 of their losses at some point. And then 2005, 5-loss team. So those are the most hyped. Who am I missing? Let me know who I'm missing, guys. If I missed one of those teams, one of the years most hyped from 95, 96 till now, let me know in the comments and the live chat. But I'll ask you guys this question as well. Will Michigan be ranked preseason number 2? I think it's general consensus. Georgia will be the preseason number 1. Will Michigan be ranked number 2? I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think because Alabama and Clemson don't really return powerhouse teams or starting quarterbacks. Ohio State doesn't return a starting quarterback. I don't know who else they can put there, although Alabama sometimes is just the default, but I think Michigan will get credit for what they've done the past 2 years and the fact they've got this stacked team and a starting quarterback returning who really came into his own down the stretch, not to mention Blake Corum, who for most of the season was the Heisman Trophy favorite. Why for yes and for no? I think everybody in the live chat saying yes across the board except for Mitch Kappa says no, and then Tim Baker says no. They're going to be number 1. Go Blue Bosa. 2007 most hyped team from A-Train 132. Yep, that's the Appalachian State year. Completely agree there. We had a super chat come in, $10 from Jacksonville Zoe. He says, have you heard anything about the 3-star defensive line commit from Wisconsin? I believe his last name is Howard. I haven't. I don't know, Jack, if we can, what am I missing there on Howard? I haven't, so decommit from Wisconsin, yeah. Haven't yet. Maybe it may ring a bell, though, but I kind of, over the last 2 months since signing day, who's it? Jamel Howard, I haven't heard anything Jacksonville, though, so let me make this deal for you. Since you super chat $10, I'm going to get you on the hard hat here. Another one, you've been multiple time there, so appreciate you there. And I will look into it. If you want, you can put your Twitter in there. I'll DM you if anything. I'll reach out to my recruiting guy, see if we know anything. But as of jumping on this live show, I don't have anything, so I don't want to BS you and tell you information that, honestly, I just don't know. It hasn't been a name that's kind of crossed my my desk over the past 2 weeks. So Jacksonville Zoe, $10 super chat. You are, I think, the last guy. I think I'm retiring this helmet, Jacksonville Zoe, so I'm putting you right up there on the top with decap with John Blaze. No, I don't want to put there because I will block somebody else's. Now I think I just got to do it right there. You are up there. I just got to write on top of G Calendar. You're getting 2 stickers there, and then John Blaze. Sometimes when you go over sticker, you gotta write over stickers. Jacksonville Zoe, put your Twitter account or DM me on Twitter. I'll get you some information by this time tomorrow. All right, guys, the Michigan Football Report is sponsored by Athletic Greens. Folks, I take AG1 every day. It's made a difference in my overall health and well-being. You can get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That link is down in the comments, description, and in the live chat coming up on today's video. I've been using AG1 for a while now. I can confidently say it's improved my overall health and wellness. Not only does it provide comprehensive nutrition, but also helps me feel more energized and focused throughout the day. I start my mornings with AG1 and it's become a habit that I look forward to every day. Furthermore, AG1 is an excellent supplement for recovery, and it's a habit that I include before and after my workouts. It makes me feel like I'm on the same level of those Michigan football athletes that I admire, and it motivates me to strive for greatness like they did these past 2 seasons beating Ohio State. AG1 is easy to use and is very cost effective, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. All you have to do is mix 1 scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing in the morning. If you're looking for a comprehensive solution for your supplement routine, then give Athletic Greens a try. They've got something exciting for you folks. With your first purchase, you'll receive a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports and take advantage of this offer. It's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Got to go to that link. It's in the comments and description, and we'll get it here in the live chat of today's video. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Get your package, vitamin D, 1-year supply, and 5 free travel packs when you get going. Don't forget the link down in the comments, description, and the live chat of today's show. Becky and Chad come in with the question. He says, why did Taylor Upshaw transfer? I don't know. I don't know the answer. Why did Taylor Upshaw transfer? Did Josiah Stewart coming in, did that kind of spook him a little bit? Because Yabioki transferred. He's at Charlotte now. I don't know the answer. Maybe he's just looking for something different. Maybe he doesn't think he has an NFL future and he saw some sort of short-term payday with Colorado. But it's an interesting one. I wish I had a better answer for you, Becky and Chad. I was surprised when I saw that he transferred. He was making plays down the stretch for Michigan, right? He was a contributing player and would have been certainly in the 2 deep, if not a starter, or at least every other down kind of player this year in that 2 deep rotation. But wish him the best with his endeavors. But it was a shocker to me that he was one of the guys that decided to enter the transfer portal. Question coming in from Younger Harbaugh. Is this your son, Jack? I think it's Jack's son, producer Jack. Young Harbaugh is Younger Harbaugh. A little play on words. Is that actually Jim Harbaugh in the picture? Interesting. Looks like it. Where does Jim Harbaugh rank among the best current coaches in college football? #Michigan. It's another of these questions that we saw earlier. I earmarked it in Slack. Sent Jack a little note so we can have a takeaway on it. So here's my takeaway on this. Right now, I think these 3 guys here you see on screen, Saban, Kirby Smart, back-to-back national championships, and Dabo Swinney, right? 2 national titles for those last 2 guys. Now, Dabo's had a couple down years, right? Those down years are still 11 wins, 10 wins, only 2 losses, 3 losses. Okay, a lot of programs, Michigan included, would love to have a 2-loss year as your down year. We still got 2 national titles, went to 4 or 5 straight playoffs. at least three national championship games, if not four. So I think he's still up there until he has, I think he needs to have 2 or 3 more mediocre-ish seasons or down seasons, non-playoff seasons. Nick Saban, 7 national titles, 6 at Alabama. That's guaranteed. But after that, I think prior to this year, Ryan Day and Lincoln Riley were guys that were generally ranked above Harbaugh, but I don't think it's the case anymore. I really think Jim Harbaugh is likely the number 4 coach in all of college football. A national title, I think, can, with the downslope of Clemson, I think potentially Harbaugh could be up there with Kirby Smart and Nick Saban, top 3 with another big-time year. Hell, a national title will do it for sure. I think it'd supplant Dabo Swinney at the top 3. But right now, I've got Harbaugh on my Mount Rushmore, my top 4 of all college football coaches. Let me ask you guys, though. Jim Harbaugh is the blank best coach in college football right now, right? So put the number with little numbers at the end, right? So he's the 1st best coach, right? He's the 10th best coach. He's the 5th. He's the 3rd. Whatever you guys think. I think right now he's number 4 because he's beat Ryan. Ryan Day probably has a good argument because of his early success, but back-to-back years, Ryan Day's got a losing record against Michigan now. I think Jim Harbaugh has thrust himself back up into that conversation. Definitely top 5. I've got him at number 4. Let me know what you guys think. I have a couple coming in the live chat. He says Case Scott, number 5. Mike G says Yoder, go blue. So thanks a lot for watching. Mike, let me know if Jim Harbaugh is the blank best coach in college football. Dylan Taylor says, who is your favorite to be the breakout player of the year? Good question. I didn't really think about this one to prepare. So let me actually look. We're going to talk about our depth chart here in a few moments. So I want to kind of just think if there's anybody on the defensive side of the ball that I might be missing. I mean, I'd love to say Josiah Stewart from Coastal Carolina, but that might be a tough one. Here's what I'm going to do. Maybe not about breakout because people know his name. I am going to say Mason Graham. I'm going to say the sophomore interior defensive lineman starter, Mason Graham, who was kind of a starter for a lot of times this year, definitely was a big-time contributor at the end of the year. I think he will have an All-American level year this year on the interior defensive lineman. It's going to make you kind of forget about Mozzie Smith and Mike Morris. Obviously, he was on the outside leading Michigan. I got Mason Graham, all Big Ten first team, borderline All-American, set up for a huge year in 2024. I think Will Johnson, but people know him. On the offensive side of the ball, I love Colston Loveland, and he's had a big year, but I think that Colston Loveland will end up with like 35, 40 catches. Will be a much bigger part of the downfield passing game than Michigan's featured from the tight ends since Jake Butt left the program, which is now 6 seasons ago. Any news on Corum's recovery? Yeah, there's, some news. Nothing since our last live show, John, and thank you so much for the super chat earlier on in the live show. Nothing I don't think that's new to anybody who watched the show last week, but I'll kind of recap where we were and what Blake Corum said himself that I think was news to a lot of people. It was a meniscus tear, right, and other things. He had to get multiple things done on his knee and may have actually re-injured it by going back into the game against Illinois, playing a little bit against Ohio State. So that's kind of a bummer. I don't think it would have made much of a difference in the Purdue game, and I don't know if they would have put him even in against TCU or whatever it is, but he's going to be out for most of the spring, if not all the spring, and the expectation right now is that he will be ready to go for summer workouts. That's June 1st. So we're looking at a 5 to 6 month recovery period here. He had a very extensive knee surgery. Part of the reason he came back, even though he wasn't a first-round projected pick, 3rd round, maybe 2nd if he was lucky at the end of the year and had some really big showings against Ohio State and the CFP. But that's not what happened. And he wasn't going to be able to participate in Pro Day, in the Combine, anything like that. So he's almost forced to come back to Michigan. And I think if Michigan gives him a little less work and gives more Diamond Edwards, that he could have the kind of season that will prove that he could be a 1st or 2nd round pick after this year. Question coming in from Mitch Kappas or Capus. I apologize if I pronounce it wrong. He says, people dissing Hart as offensive coordinator, as OC. In some ways, right? And I don't know if there's anything that's happened on this front. Mike Hart, he has been named while we've been live the last hour or so, has he? But if you're just talking about the speculation that he could be the OC, he's been with the program for 2 years, kind of running game coordinator, but not a true OC in that regards. I would just say this. What other programs are trying to hire Mike Hart as your offensive coordinator right now? As far as I know, it's not many. And if they are, it's not programs of the level and caliber of Michigan. Now, he has turned Michigan's running game around. You could say, well, the offensive line's turned around too. So I don't know if you give more credit to Mike Hart, Sharon Moore, but I don't think Michigan is a place where you've got a team like this coming back in 2023 with I don't have to repeat the guys' names. I don't think it's a year where you let someone cut their teeth as a play caller or a co-OC. Maybe if he's with the program a couple more years, you get to that point where he's proven himself, and maybe you give him a half to call games here and there. But as of the team up next year, I think Michigan really needs to have somebody come in who could help J.J. McCarthy with the downfield passing game and passing game inside the red zone, which where Michigan has struggled pretty much the entire time that Jim Harbaugh has been their head coach. If you love Michigan football, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We put out the most content. We've got the biggest audience of any show covering this program across any platform, podcast, TV, radio. And you guys can see the numbers. They're all public. We have something like 17,000 viewers per show during the season. That drops off during the off season, but well upwards of 600, 700,000 viewers per month during the season. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Every subscriber motivates us to do more programming. youtube.com/Michigan TV. Case and Scott's been all over the live chat. Really appreciate you, my man. Because I got a question. In your opinion, what's the best option for a QB coach? I love T. Martin, right? T. Martin, who is the quarterbacks or wide receivers coach with the Baltimore Ravens right now, mostly because he has worked with the NFL offense and he clearly sees better passing concepts that I think Michigan has. He's been an offensive coordinator in the past, but more than anything, he is a hell of a recruiter, and that's where I think Michigan has struggled with Matt Weiss in the last couple of years. Is they have gone 2 classes without any big quarterback commits, and in general. Shouldn't he have closed the deal, Matt Weiss, with Jayden Davis? I think T. Martin's the kind of guy who can come in, get yourself a big-time 5-star quarterback in 2024, or hell, a top 100 guy if Jayden Davis decides to go elsewhere, and get the trend going back to where Michigan could backfill J.J. McCarthy after this season potentially, because if McCarthy leaves after the 2023 season to go to the NFL, I think right now that quarterback room is looking a little sparse for me to get excited going forward unless Michigan gets a transfer portal player into the program. Josh Sherwood, appreciate you, Josh, longtime viewer, also helmet hard hat member, is going to go on the end screen for $10 super chat. Go Blue. How is the wide receiver room looking for 2023? Jack, toss up my wide receiver depth chart from last week's show. I'm not sure what to expect because it's really interesting. Andrew Anthony left the program. Would you be surprised, folks, that I think it was 8 of the 14 games Michigan played this year, Andrew Anthony got more snaps than starting wide receiver Roman Wilson? That's surprising to me. What's Darius Clemens? Is he ready to take the next step up, top 100 wide receiver going into his second year at the program? And is Cornelius Johnson going to be the Cornelius Johnson we saw against Ohio State, or we saw against against Purdue, or maybe even saw spurt parts against TCU? Or is this Michigan football wide receiver group just going to be a group that gets passes here and there, but for the most part runs poor routes and doesn't really make any big-time plays? And what we saw this past year, especially the first 7-8 games of the year, the balls were downfield. Andrew Anthony had opportunities to make a play. Right? Cornelius Johnson, many opportunities to make a play. Ronnie Bell, Butterfingers at time, great program guy, but this wide receiver group has really struggled. Honestly, since Jim Harbaugh's second year, right? 2016, 2015, those are some good wide receiver groups they took from Brady Hoke. After that, DPJ, Nico Collins, Tariq Black, those guys are supposed to be superstars. They struggled, and since then, it's an iffy group for Michigan. So some excitement. Look to see what we get from the young guys, but as of now, you're down a score. You're down 6 points, let's say. 6 points. There's 2.5 minutes left. You need to score to win the game. It's against Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan State, whoever it is, bowl game. Which quarterback you put in there? J.J. McCarthy's had the opportunity to do it one time in his career, and he did it kind of without Blake Corum, without Diamond Edwards against Illinois. Quite a few field goal tries. But Denard Robinson did it a bunch of times. Notre Dame multiple times, Indiana multiple times, and others. One drive, one score needed to win. DR for Denard Robinson or J.J. McCarthy. Who would be your Michigan football quarterback? Let's see what you guys are thinking in the live chat and down in the comments if you're watching this video on Thursday. Let me know who your guy is. Michigan football's 2-minute drill quarterback, J.J. McCarthy or Denard Robinson. And if you haven't yet, follow me on Twitter. I'll put my Twitter link in the live chat, and it's down in the comments and the description of today's show right there in the live chat. It's at James Yoder. Make sure you guys are following me. I tweet every single day about Michigan football, and I make a lot of jokes on the Ohio State Buckeyes and their failures under Just for Men bearded coach Ryan Day. That was our Michigan Football Report, MF for Q&A. Thanks to everybody who used hashtag Michigan and got on the show. And really thanks to the Super Chatters. We're sitting at 179.95. Didn't expect any Super Chats today because, there's not a game coming up. It's not signing day. But you guys have really proven how awesome of a group you are, how awesome a fan base. They want the content. Decap. John Crandall came through with a big one. Jeremy Clore up in this bad boy. Chad Ode, or Odie, Jacksonville Zoe, Decap, and John Crandall both with 50 bangers on the Super Chats. Other guys who have contributed, other awesome viewers, Cody Momfer, Wolverine Alaska, some guy, John Blaze. Did I say Wolverine Alaska? I think I did. Decap again today with a 50 banger. How about G. Calendar, right? He came through with one earlier. A few weeks back, Clayton Amboy, Wolverine Alaska again, Cody Momfer, Jacksonville Zoe was on there today and back in December. Going back to December, Cole Usatalo, Rick Herford, Cody Miller, Cool Moti, he's on the leaderboard. Cruiser for show, Never Bold 11, my guy Travis Mitchell, Shane Johnson, who's in our top 10. Look at all these guys. I mean, I couldn't even put the Michigan logos on. I know I did have on this one. The last one, I couldn't even put the Michigan logo on because there's just so many Super Chats. So thank you guys. Hope you appreciate what we do. We appreciate you guys, and we're trying to show you as much love as we can. So now we're going to dive into my 2023 Michigan football depth chart. Before we do, so we've got about 20 or so minutes left in the show. I want to know from you guys here on the live chat. I'll give you guys shout-outs. Whoever answers this question, give those answers, read them off live on screen. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? You got the 49ers, Eagles. You got the Bengals. Got the Chiefs. Jack, who you got? Who's gonna win? I think it could be the 49ers, right? I think that would be one of the wildest stories in history. The third string quarterback, rookie quarterback, leads them to a championship. Brian Griese, of course, would be there you go. Brian Griese would be quarterback's coach of that third string quarterback. But they don't have they don't have the offensive explosion for that quarterback role. So I don't know, man. That's a really tough one. I guess my heart at this point I'm pulling for the 49ers to win. But at the end of the day, you probably think, well, it's probably gonna be the winner of that Bengals Chiefs game. So I'm gonna say my non-heart will say the Bengals, and my hope is the 49ers. But let me see what you guys think here. All right, bring me one of these bad boys back, Jack, if you can. Any flavor is fine. I have a little thirst. Jack is going to be back. He's grabbing some stuff. He's grabbing me a drink here in the Michigan Football Report. So who's going to win the Super Bowl? Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to give shots here for about the next 60 seconds. Eagles from Jacksonville Zoe. Coach Sully says Philly. Bill Graves with a Cincinnati. So he's got the Bengals rolling in. I don't root against the Bengals because of the Ohio State thing. I know they got Ohio State players, and it's near Columbus, 2 hours away, but I don't root against Cincinnati for that reason, although maybe I should. Josh Heischkel says 49ers do defense. Like, I think so too. The 49ers have the most talent across their entire roster. They've got one of the top, if not the best defense in the NFL, one of the top 3 for sure, no disputing that. And think about their skill position players. Christian McCaffrey, right? George Kittle, right? Deebo Samuel. And then Trent Williams, they've got best offensive lineman in the NFL, best left tackle for sure, top 2, top 3 tight end, top 2, top 3 running back, and then Deebo Samuel, he's just a weapon, right? He could be considered a top 5 receiver, could be a running back. They use him all kinds of ways last year. This year, mostly on the wide receiver crew. I'll give a few more shout-outs here. Defense wins championships from Josh. That's why he's pulling for 49ers. Stanley Pollock again with the 49ers. That would be one of the more unlikely champions of an NFL season that we've seen because of the turnover at quarterback. You try to go against a guy who's got you to a Super Bowl. Coming in, producer Sam coming in.
I just wanted to make sure Jack wasn't dying.
No, you can toss to the next one if you want, Sam, for us guys. Producer Young Harbaugh, aka Jack, had to step out. Backup producer. Assistant to the assistant producer. Sam is in, filling in for Jack for a moment, so we'll keep it rolling here. 26,000 subscribers, guys. We are 366 away from there as we are about to do our defensive depth chart. There might be higher on the subscribers here, actually. Let me take a look. 634, that's actually the right number. So make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Push that one forward, that last one over there, Sam. And Jack is back. Jack brought me a another carbonated kind of, non-manly beverage. But, It's 6:34 on the East Coast, 5:30 in Dallas. So I'm going to have one. They got me this truly watermelon breeze. I'm going to have it. I'm going to take a sip. Shout out your city. Where you watching for? We're going to dive into the defensive depth chart here in a second. About 150 people watching. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's bad. I don't know what to expect with off-season content because there's not a storylines that drive viewers like there is in the NFL. Free agency, the draft, all that stuff. So we've got signing day next week, and then you're into a 2-month abyss until spring practice in mid to late March. So let me know who you guys are thinking. So Jack Lazo, only thing more girly than Truly is a White Claw. Yeah, I've never been a fan of White Claws. I do like, and I'm not going to give. I know it's not a Barstool product, but Portnoy and they're like the what's the product? High Noons are pretty damn good. They're expensive, but it's actual vodka, and it just tastes so damn good. It basically just tastes like a. We should be getting paid for this. This is a plug that we should be getting. Only alcoholic beverage that Jack, a.k.a. Young Harbaugh, will drink. Steven Mers, my guy, Steven, you sent me a chat. I was out of town a week and a half ago. A DM. I'm going to get back to it. I haven't forgot about it, so appreciate that. You said use it if you want. I haven't yet, but I will. So thanks so much, Steven Mers. By the way, happy birthday. I think I saw, Steven. It was your birthday last weekend. So hope you're having fun. Looks like you had some ladies in your life. Shout out your city. Bill Graves, Columbus, Ohio, Bleeding Maves and Blues. Slam some buzz balls, Yoder. What's buzz balls? Jack, why don't you look that up for us? Buzz balls. Need to get Truly be a sponsor of the show. I agree. It's a beverage. Looks like a grenade. I gotta take a look at one of these bad boys. That buzz balls or some sort of grenade. Probably just like it's like a cocktail. Okay, cool. I might check one of those out. We've been doing a little company event on Friday. We're taking a party bus up to a casino on Friday, Jack. Maybe we need to get some buzz balls. We'll see what that is. Justin Baker says, High Noons are damn good. Jameson Lime mix cans. Okay, I'll take a look at those ones. So where are you guys watching from? I'll give a few more shout-outs here. I think this one's Stanley Pollock. Chad Henne, Super Bowl MVP? Maybe, right? Maybe Mahomes doesn't play. We will see how that is shaken out as we are about to dive into our defensive depth chart. A lot of people putting their cities in there. Surprisingly, usually city is the one that gets the commenters rolling, gets the comments flowing. So that is that. I'll give more shots as I see him going there. Tuning in from Connecticut, John Crandall, my guy, the 50 banger. Appreciate you, John. Let's take this question from Stephen Murray. Says, quick question, Yoder. Do you think the blog boys are saying Matt Weiss wasn't very instrumental to the offense or a big loss just to save a face, or was that true, you think? No, I think that's I think they're trying to save face. I think they're trying to be program men. Look, the reason that we think we're different here at the program is we don't know everything. I'm not talking to Jim Harbaugh on a daily basis, but we got a couple of sources, right? Parents of players, ex-players. We get some good info. We don't have all the info. But we try and get what we have. We don't ever sugarcoat it. If I knew exactly what Matt Weiss did, his crime, I would 100% tell you. If I knew exactly for sure what it was, I would not hold back just because, the program hasn't allowed us to do it. So what Stephen Murray is saying here is like, hey, the blog boys are saying, well, he wasn't the real offensive coordinator. He was going to be, Matt Weiss would have been an offensive coordinator in the NFL for a playoff team this year if Jim Harbaugh would have got the job. Harbaugh was going to take him to be his offensive coordinator. He is really instrumental. If you guys don't believe it or not I would say as much as the quarterbacks as his job, quarterbacks coach, co-OC, but he kind of helped Jim Harbaugh in the offseason after 2020 into 2021 when he got hired. He kind of helped Jim Harbaugh rewrite the playbook for Michigan's running attack, right? Even though he was the quarterbacks coach. So I think it could make a big impact. Not going to hurt on recruiting. And he probably wasn't calling plays during the game, but game planning, analytics, and kind of being in Jim Harbaugh's ear, when to run, when to take risks. I think it's kind of like a right-hand man. I know Jack's got the answer for me. Oh, Jack's gone? Well, I guess I got to go my own decision. So I think that is a little bit of facing. We are not access journalists. We're not towing the company line just so we can sit in the locker room and Jim Harbaugh give a post-game speech. That's scam web. That's the other guys. That's not us. I'll always tell you exactly what we know when we know it. I think Matt Weiss is a loss. Not from recruiting, game planning, running game, and all that. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. They have launched their new beard products, folks. If you have a beard, if you have any facial hair, hell, Manscaped has got you hooked up with the new beard products. We'll tell you about it here in a moment. Always go to manscaped.com. Use promo code GOBLUE, no spaces, for 20% off and free shipping. Let's take a look at my early spring defensive depth chart. We're going to go over all the positions. Some things might surprise you. Michigan's had a number of transfers in, Josiah Stewart, you got Ernest Hausman, et cetera, et cetera. And Michigan's lost a few guys that we don't really know who exactly is a proven player that can replace them. So I'm speculating on some of this stuff, but I think you'll find it interesting who we've got slated at all the different positions. But before we do, I had an argument with a friend over text last week. So let me know what you guys think. The better Michigan football team was 2016, not of all time or anything, just these two teams against each other. 2016, if you guys are history buffs, of course, Harbaugh's second year, Michigan started off the year 9-0, got up to number 2 in the polls, lost to Iowa on the road, and then went into the Ohio State game 3 weeks later. It's the number 3 team in the country, lost the JT was short game, and then kind of mailed in against Florida State, ended up with 3 losses, lost to Ohio State in the road, didn't win the Big Ten title, but was probably more talented top to bottom. Okay, 2021, they did beat Ohio State. They did win the Big Ten. Also had that road loss against Michigan State, a top 10 team versus Iowa was kind of a crap team. And then the year by getting crushed by Georgia. So 2-loss team versus 3-loss team, Big Ten. I think accolades, 2021, no question. But if they played in the field, who would win 2016 or 2021? Comment below, or if you're in the live chat right now, I see a bunch of 2021s coming in early on. Give me a reasoning, too, of why. And hell, maybe even I'm not trying to complicate things. Hell, give me a score prediction if those two teams face each other. Let's take a look at the interior of the defensive line. Now, Michigan in the last few years under Jim Harbaugh has started to do things differently. So, they're kind of like NFL names, all this different stuff. So it's like interior, outside linebackers. Sometimes the positions are intermingling. So I don't think most times these guys are all starters next year. I think for the most part, the interior guys, Michigan has 2 guys in the field for most of their base sets, but there's 3 positions, so we'll list starters for them. Chris Jenkins, returning for another year, feels like he's been there forever. Rayshon Trap Money Benny will be his backup at the 5 tech. Now, Mason Graham, defensive tackle. He'll be on the field pretty much all time. And nose tackle and 5 tech really is going to depend on whether or not it's like a goal line situation, 3rd and 1 or something like that, or if Michigan thinks the team's going to run or thinks the team's going to pass, Barry or Jenkins will kind of swap out their roles. But sometimes they'll all be on the field at the same time together. Those 3 guys will take up the middle of the field, and then they'll have more external guys on the outside. But Rayshon Benny going into I think it's 3rd year of the program now. And then Cam Good transferred in after before last season. Didn't really do anything this past year. Kenneth Grant will go into his 2nd year. And then Benny will be the backup at the 5 tech. So I think all 3 of those guys will get a bunch of playing time. My standout guy there, though, is Mason Graham. I think he's going to be an all Big Ten first team defensive lineman. And hell, he's going to make a run for an All-American before he is done at Michigan. As always, guys, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel. Subscribers are the lifeblood of a YouTube show. Subscribers are growing. Audience typically is growing. Subscribers stop. YouTube says, wow, people aren't subscribing to this channel as fast as they used to, as much as they rate. They didn't get as many this week as they did last week. Let's start showing the content to less people. The inverse is true with more subscribers. So that's why it's always part of the programming is to ask you to subscribe. Because when we do, typically it leads to more subscribers. So you have to just appreciate that sometimes as a viewer that we know what moves the numbers and moves the needles, and we don't want to make shows for nobody. We want to get this program in front of more Michigan football fans. If you like the show too, take that link, send it to a friend in your group chats, Facebook, wherever that you share links. All right, now we're combining defensive end, a.k.a. edge, which I kind of hate that term, but it is what it is. A lot of NFL teams use that term as just like a bat out of hell defensive lineman on the outside, Aiden Hutchinson style, David Ojabo. Josiah Stewart, Junior and Jalen Harrell. Harrell kind of returning for another year starting. He'll be backed up by Braden McGregor, going into like his 9th year at Michigan, it feels like, but I think it's reality 4th, maybe 5th. Stewart's coming into Michigan from Coastal Carolina. Let's take a look at his stats the last couple of years, right? 2 seasons at Coastal Carolina. These are huge freaking stats, folks. 79 tackles, 16 sacks. Now, it's not like these are his last 2 years as a junior and senior and he's coming in for a 5th year. No, freshman, true sophomore, 16 sacks, 12 and a half of those were as a true freshman, and they were using him a little bit differently last year. 25 and a half tackles for loss, folks. 4 forced fumbles in 2 seasons. Now he's part of this Michigan football program. I've got him starting in there at the edge over Derek Moore, who I think some other people think that he's going to just slide in there now that Mike Morris has gone on. Yabioki's decided to transfer to Charlotte. Jalen Harrell, you guys know what you're getting from him. Now in the interior, there's a lot of just kind of things to consider. Barry and Colson are back as starters, but you've got guys behind him. Nikhai Hill-Green is slated as a starter last year. Ernest Hausman, starting linebacker for Nebraska. Jimmy Roller, highly rated recruit, and Kalel Mullings, running back, not running back, whatever he is for Michigan. I think he's going to be back at the tight end position next year. That is the edge depth chart for Michigan. And, folks, I did want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, and that is Manscaped. And we got some breaking news here from Manscaped, folks. Breaking news in the Michigan Football Report. Attention all bearded gentlemen. Manscaped has launched a beard grooming kit. Are you tired of using multiple products to maintain your beard? Look no further than the luxury Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped. This complete beard maintenance kit is everything you need to be the modern man on the go. From trimming to treatment, this kit has it all. Here's what you get in the kit. Beard Hedger. You get a charger, AC adapter, and USB-C, beard shampoo, conditioner, beard oil, beard balm, and a travel bag. Plus, as a special bonus, when you use our promo code GOBLUE, you'll also receive a beard accessory pack with a brush, beard comb, and beard scissors. That's amazing. The Beard Hedger was designed with a unique cutting angle to have its built-in comb lift flat-lying hairs for a smooth single-stroke trimming. And for a limited time, 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. You've got to use promo code GOBLUE. No spaces. Promo code GOBLUE. Don't wait, folks. With your beard, get your Beard Hedger Pro Kit today and take your beard game to the next level. I just want to show you a little bit what they get in this package. You got beard conditioner. You got this bad boy. If I had a beard right now, I might be like, hey, I make my beard look a little better. Rough it up a little bit, smooth it out a little bit. And I saw that there. Comb. If you're one of these guys that got the big beards, you got the Manscaped comb. My entire bathroom at this point is Manscaped. It's kind of wild how they have taken over the Yoder household. And then these things can be dangerous, Jack. I don't know if we're allowed. We should have these in the office. I don't know if I pulled these out of mine. Beard scissors. This is what the pros use, baby. Okay, that's the latest of Manscaped. They have reinvented the beard game. Get your beard trimming kit. If your dad's got a beard, your brother, something like that, get it for them for a birthday present. Father's Day coming up in 4 or 5 months. Manscaped.com, promo code GOBLUE. All right, back to the edge, the edge and linebacker depth chart one more time. Junior Colson, Mike Barrett in the middle. They're going to be backed up by some really talented guys. Jimmy Roller, right? He was a true freshman out of Indiana, I think it was. He's a top 200 guy. He got a bunch of playing time this year. I got him as third string right now. Nakai Hill-Green, injured all year. Back up. What do we get from Ernest Hausman, though? He got a sack, his one sack for Nebraska when he played against Michigan this year. He started 7 games as a true freshman, 54 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. I think he's going to start off the year as a backup, but I do think there's a good chance that as the time goes on, maybe Michael Barrett or maybe Michigan just switches up and plays more 3 linebacker sets. But I think Ernest Hausman this year, next year, hell, even 2025 is going to be a consistent player and a big-time contributor for Michigan going forward for this program. Okay, let's take a look back to last year, right? Tackling leaders for this team. These are the guys who led the team in tackles in 2022. Junior Colson, Michael Barrett, Rod Moore, Mike Sanderstill, and Chris Jenkins. What do these players all have in common? I wonder. Well, this is a good thing. They're all returning, right? They are all returning for Michigan in 2023. I think it's a big sign. Your top 5 tacklers are all returning going into a new season. That's why a lot of people, myself included, like you guys, are so super pumped up about this team. Another guy I'm super pumped up about is Will Johnson. I think he was Michigan's best defender the last 5-6 games of the year, right? I mean, unfortunately, he benefited from the malice in the Big Ten, Big House Tunnel when Jimon Green had to miss a couple games, right? He got all those snaps and he performed, right? 2 interceptions against Purdue, great plays, shut down Ohio State players, made plays against TCU. I think he's going to be a big-time player this year, maybe Michigan's best defender in 2023. Will he be a first-team All-American? Let's just say this year. 2023. He's got 2 seasons left at least. 2023. Comment yes or no, or put it in the live chat on the Michigan Football Report live YouTube show. Will Johnson, 2023, first team All-American. Yes or no? I think yes. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a yes or a no. All right, so we went over our defensive line, interior defensive line. You get the edge, you get the linebackers inside. Michigan runs kind of a funky set, and I think we're going to end up having, 12 or 13 positions here, 12 positions at least. But Michigan has got different base sets based on who the opponent is. But one set, one level of the defense that really hasn't changed no matter what the opponent is the secondary. Michigan's typically had, under Jim Harbaugh, pretty much every game, 5 guys starting in the secondary. And here are the guys I've got slated for starters this year, right? And it's a lot of names you guys know. I wish DJ Turner or Gmon Green would have come back because then there'd be no holes in this secondary. But right now, Makari Page supplanted RJ Moten as the starting strong safety. I've got him back there this year. Moten, if he stays on, he'll be there for the spring, but I thought there was a chance he could transfer. Not so fast, my friend. RJ Moten will return as of now. Rod Moore, 3rd year in the program, 3rd year as a starter. Keon Sabb, who was a big-time level recruit, will be his backup at free safety. At the cornerback position, Will Johnson and then Jayden McBurrows. Here's one of the guys in the melee in the Big House Tunnel with Michigan State. He's slated right now as the best bet I've got for cornerback 2. Micah Pollard and true freshman Jair Hill behind him, and then Mike Sanderstill. I think maybe the heart of Michigan's entire team going into 2023 as the nickel for the 2nd straight year. Zeke Berry, another big-time recruit out of the state of California, will be his backup at the nickel position. But how about Will Johnson? I asked you the question about Will Johnson. Could he be a first-team All-American? Here's his stats last year. 2 tackles for losses on his 27 tackles in general. 6 pass breakups, okay, but 3 interceptions. And those really came down the stretch, including 2 against Purdue, folks. I don't know. Could he be the best defender in college football? He was Michigan's best defender down the stretch of the year. Let's just say the month of November through the loss of TCU on December 31st. So 2 months, 5 games, whatever you call it. The development of him from first 3 or 4 or 5 games of the year to the last 3, 4, 5 games of the year is so stark. It honestly truly reminds me of Charles Woodson in 1995. Got in the starting lineup, 5th game, 6th game in there. And by the end of the year, what happened to Charles Woodson in 95? 2 interceptions against Ohio State. Beat a number 2 Ohio State game that year as a true freshman. All-American in 2020 or in 1996. Heisman Trophy winner in 1997. I think there's a chance Will Johnson is on that same path. Right now, I'm going to say, folks, if he's not the best cornerback since Charles Woodson, by the time he's done at Michigan, if you're not saying Woodson and after Woodson, Will Johnson, I think something went drastically wrong. I think next year he could be potentially the best defensive player, if not just the best cornerback in all of college football. Who you got, guys? On Sunday, you've got the AFC Championship game. Is it going to be the Chiefs? Patrick Mahomes, 5th straight AFC Championship game, but Mahomes is 0-3 to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals since Burrow has been there, including last year's AFC Championship game. Give me a C. Give me a B. The Bengals are actually now favored now, Jack. You know about that on the road. They went from like a 1.5-point underdog to a 1.5, 2-point favorite in a matter of 3 or 4 days. Give me a C. Give me a B. I'm just going to say C because Chat Sports has a Chiefs show, so I'm kind of rooting for the brand. Let me know what you guys think, C or B, Bengals or Chiefs. Head over to special teams. This is an area where Michigan's got a lot of question marks, right? You're losing your kicker, Jake Moody. You're losing your punter. And you don't have much depth with proven guys at the kick returners and such like that. So Tommy Doman, not a name pretty people you guys have seen, but he's kind of just been in the background for the last year plus as the next in line at kicker, and apparently they're going to put him as punter too. He's got a lot of experience punting from high school and summer camps, etc. So if he were to get hurt, folks, that's pretty bad news. In the future, though, Adam Samaha, the incoming true freshman, will be the backup kicker. I don't think he's got really much punting experience, but Michigan's kind of filled that void going forward in the future. Roman Wilson, I've got as my primary kick returner, with A.J. Henning being the other kick returner that doesn't get as many returns. And then as of now, A.J. Henning is the only punt returner I can really hang my hat on, though I do think plenty of guys, including several guys on the defensive side of the ball, will get opportunities in spring practice, and we'll be able to update this with our post-spring practice depth chart. Taking you through it one more time. Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, Rayshon, Trap Money Benny as my starters or alt starters on the interior of the defensive line at the 3 positions that Michigan does depth chart for. On the linebacker / edge, right, the defensive end / linebackers, Michigan really has gone to a 2-2-2-5, 2 interior guys, 2 edge guys on the outside, 2 linebackers, and then 5 guys in the secondary. Josiah Stewart coming over from Coastal Carolina. He'll beat out Derek Moore, I think. But we'll see. Both guys will get a lot of playing time. Michigan's rotated tons of defensive linemen. Junior Colson, Michael Barrett, and Jalen Harrell will start again on the outside. 3 returning starters there. Ernest Hausman coming over from Nebraska, right? Big time 7-game starter as a true freshman. Another true freshman last year. Jimmy Roller, top 200 recruit. See what he can do. Nikhil Green, slated as a starter last year. Got hurt, missed the entire season, and then Kalel Mullings fumbled What was that? Against TCU. It was a terrible play. And then Braden McGregor, in his 19th year as a Michigan football player, will be the backup at the other edge position. Into the secondary that we just showed you, but recapping it, Makari Page, Rod Moore, Will Johnson, and Mike Sandersville, all returning starters. You see that a lot, guys. I mean, just think about all the returning starters across this entire team. New name, Jayden McBurrows as the other cornerback, although Michigan will pursue transfers in quarterback, guy from Ole Miss we talked about, and we'll see what's out there after spring practice. There's another recruiting portal 15-day period, May 1st through 15th. I think Michigan would be very smart to bring in another cornerback to kind of battle for that other starting job outside of Will Johnson. And special teams, Tommy Doman, a lot of names you haven't heard, a couple names you haven't heard of. Tommy Doman at kicker, punter, Roman Wilson, of course, AJ Henning as your kick returners, and Henning as your punt returners. Of course, anyone who's followed Michigan football for more than a day should know those two names. How about over on the NFC side of things? Let me know if it's the Eagles or the 49ers. Give me an E for the Philadelphia Eagles. The best team in all the NFL the entire season for the most part. 49ers, the hottest team in the NFL over the last 2.5 months. Like 11 straight games, I think it is. The Eagles are, I believe, like 12 or 13-1 with Jalen Hurts. They've lost one game with Hurts as their quarterback this year. 49ers, guys, huge. No matter who's a quarterback, they're winning 7-0 with a rookie quarterback whose name I'm forgetting at this point again. What's his name? Brock Purdy. I keep forgetting his name. So Arizona's finest. Yep. Let me know what you guys think. E for the Eagles or a 4 for the 49ers. Jacksonville Zoe says Eagles. Julian with a 4 for the Niners. And Bill Graves with a Eagles. Josh High School, 49ers. Rob Smith and Eagles. Pretty split. Let me know in the live chat or down in the comments on today's Michigan Football Report. If you haven't yet, I am on Twitter. It is at James Yoder. Folks, really appreciate everyone who's been with us today. I'm going to put that in the live chat, but the link to my Twitter account is also down in the comments and the description of today's video. Follow me on Twitter. Keep up to me. We're putting out 4 to 5 videos in the off season, but you can keep up with me every single day on Twitter. It's at James Yoder. All right, that is the show, folks. We went through the latest news and rumors on Jim Harbaugh, transfer portal, Nyckoles Harbor, Stanford defensive line commit might flip, all these different things. Recruiting class next week is signing day 1 week from today, so we'll be live again. Took your questions. Really appreciate it. $180 in super chats. So everybody who contributed today, you guys are awesome. Really want to just give you my gratitude and thanks for giving hard-earned money to help support and grow our show. Decap with a 50 banger. Got 5 of those for you. A couple weeks ago, we had Dominic Franchillo with a 20 banger. Cody Momfer has been on there. John Blaze, Wolverine, Alaska. Some more from today. We have let me see. Where's the ones from today? Decap, John Crandall for show. Ode, where's that one? I want to find Chad Ode. Oh, there you go. Chad Ode right there. G Calendar as well. Hopefully pronouncing that one right. Jacksonville Zoe with a 10 spot on today. Are we missing anybody that's super chat today? Jeremy Clore, I forgot. Sorry about that, Jeremy. We got there. Mike Layton. Those guys were earlier in the show. I mean, it kind of popped out. That was an hour and a half ago. So thank you so much to those guys. Everybody who's in a $10 super chat today or next Wednesday's last chance, you are going to get on our off-season end screen, kind of like the show credits like you see at the end of a movie. Your name will be on there. And then we're going to send out these 4 helmets filled with some goodies to top 2 people. So right now it's John Blaze and Wolverine Alaska will get one with some goodies. And then I'll kind of pick 2 names, randomly pick these other ones. We'll fill up some stuff, maybe stuff a Michigan football jersey, maybe stuff $100 in there, something like that. We'll do something special for 2 winners. Shout out your city. John Crandall, have a good night to you, my man. Really appreciate the super chats and appreciate watching the show. If anything, and so come back next week. Next week we'll be live on Wednesday. Again, time is to be determined. Jacksonville Zoe, great job, Yoder. Thank you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Derek Bowe should be a contributor, big contributor too. I had him starting unless Josiah Stewart transferred. He did, so now I've got him there. Keep shouting out your city, where you're watching from. Stephen Murs, you're the GOAT, Yoder. Have a good night. Steve, we got to break bread at this point, man. I feel like I got to get to Chicago or meet up at a Michigan game soon. 2023 is our year, though. Me and you. To Stephen Murs. Watch from DFW. A-Train 132, watch from DFW. So am I. Filming from DFW. Chat Sports, we got 5,200 square feet downtown Dallas in it's called the Digital Realty Building now, but it used to be called the Univision Tower, downtown Dallas. So I don't know. We don't do tours. Maybe we could at one point. Steve Murray says, I know. Let me know. 2023 is our year. Not just the football team, Steve. Me and you. Appreciate that, guys. So if anybody wants to, give it 60 more seconds. Maybe wants to super chat, or if you've got a hashtag Michigan, maybe I'll take another question if anyone has one. But if not, we will let you guys get on with your day as we are coming up on 2 hours, almost to the dot. He says, I know where that building is. Hey, stop by. Lay on the horn and DM me and say, hey, I'm here. Yeah, we'll hear you for sure. I mean, there's a lot of the sound comes through these windows. Josh from Zionsville, Indiana. So that is the show. Guys, before you leave today, as we got kind of winding down, we went from 200 down to 100 in just like a moment. But those 105 of you are still watching the show. Before we sign off here, coming up on 7 o'clock Eastern in like 10 seconds, can you give the video a like? Would have really appreciate it. So YouTube can look at our show and say, wow, these guys got a good portion of their audience like the video. We need to make sure we show this video to more Michigan football fans today. Of course, help us get in the YouTube jet stream for Michigan football fans next week when we go live on National Signing Day. Give the video a like if you can. And as always, recommend the show to a friend. Got a couple things. What do we got? I missed a couple of chats. Oki is not an academic issue. Hardly was not first. I don't think it was an academic issue for Mark. Just really quick on Oki. I could be wrong. I haven't heard anything either way, but I think he just wanted guaranteed playing time. I think Biff Poggi, his high school coach, that's now the head coach of Charlotte, got him to Michigan, and it was like, hey, come over with me. Oh, there we go. John Crandall, the $20 super chat. John Crandall. He's coming for the top 3. Let's update that, Jack, if we can. The board. Somehow we went to 100 viewers, and then we just popped up another 50 really quick. So how'd that happen? I don't even know. John Crandall, he is trying to get at the top of the Michigan Football Report leaderboard, coming for top 3. My guy, super appreciative, man. That is awesome. As just we were about to wrap up the show, Jack's like, My girl is waiting for me, bro. James, she's got some food coming for me, but John Crandall comes in. Oh, Stephen Murs, there he goes. $10, Stephen. Now you're on the helmet too, my guy. No Aaron Hernandez. Oh my gosh. 120. Oh, John Crandall, Stephen Murs. That is amazing. Oh my God, I gotta get this. John Crandall, 125. You got another sticker, helmet sticker, and Stephen Murs, you are on there as well. Chicago's finest. Ladies, you can trust Stephen. He's one of the great guys. One time my car broke down in the middle of Nebraska. Stephen came out, drove 200 miles to help me change my tire. Great guy, all-time guy there. Stephen Murs. Jacksonville Zoe says, never thought I would see Aaron Hernandez mentioned today. Funny enough, looks like we've got a spot on one of these other helmets, Jack. I think you're a little more liberal with your stickers, Jack, because the helmet you did, I think we got a little more room. So I think we got to toss. I'll find a spot for Stephen and for John Crandall's too. I don't want to. While we're live here, I don't want to stick them on anyone's. But if you bring me back, there's the Super Chat leaderboard real quick. I'll look at that. Well, let me show you guys. John Crandall, Steven, I got you guys. I got you on there and put you in the helmet as soon as we're done. But I got to find a spot because these are all filled up. But really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. The leaderboard, John Blaze, Wolverine Alaska, Blue Wolverine, Cool Moti, John Crandall. He's coming. He's coming for that top 3. He's $60 away from top 3. He's now in the top 5. John, next week, $17.01 gets you to the kind of like the Mount Rushmore top 4. I think that's a big one. But you're now in the top 5, my man. So you are awesome, and we appreciate it. Guys, this has been great. I've said a couple weeks ago, it's the honor of a lifetime to be able to talk about Michigan football and have anyone listen to us over these past 2 seasons, which I think are the best 2 back-to-back years of Michigan football since I've been following the team. And this team is primed for another year, so I think 2023 is going to be our year. Houston or bust. Got $210 in Super Chats, so thank you to everyone who Super Chat today. I'm just going to give a shout out. Jeremy Clore with the $10. Mike Layton with 10. G. Calendar with 20. Bizzer, he's off perks and he's sipping that lean. Remember that one, Jack, for $5. Chad Odie with $25. Also a fake $500 super chat. Decap with a 50 banger. John Crandall with 50, then 20. Jacksonville Zoe, and then Stephen Murs with the 10 spot. So you guys are awesome. We will be back Wednesday. Keep an eye out on Twitter or on the shows we've got coming up Monday and Tuesday next week, or maybe we'll put it on the YouTube community tab. We will be live Wednesday for National Signing Day. Try to position our lives around maybe Nyckoles Harbor's announcement or others. So make sure you're kind of keeping up with that. We'll be live next Wednesday for National Signing Day. Until I see you guys next time, go Blue.